It's time for Rat Salad Review with your hosts, Wayne Noon, Greg Norgal, and Nate Lander.
Welcome to Rat Salad Review, and it is almost New Year. Christmas is done. 2020 is almost over, and you're spending it with us.
Time to get ready for next Christmas.
You got 366 days till Christmas.
Don't forget, it's the magical Native American Johnny will bring you presents on Arbor Day.
Well, how was your Christmases anyway? Everything? You get everything you wanted?
It was all right.
Did you get any cool albums or anything? Or?
No.
No? What did you get, socks and underwear?
Yeah.
Great. What about you, Greg?
I didn't know your family was Jewish. Just kidding, guys. Happy out. Yeah, Wayne's my cousin now. No, I just went over to my buddy's house for dinner, and that was it.
Oh, well, that's great. I got a lot of cool things, but no music-related items, actually. Which is sad, but you know what? There really wasn't much I didn't have, so, you know.
I got some stuff
I
bought myself with my Christmas bonus, but nothing I got as a gift.
Yeah. Well, I still had fun, though. But what we're going to do on this episode today, we're going to do a little best of, because this show's been around since 2018, and I have yet to do a best of. And I figured, let's do one now.
Sorry about the clip show. I am Troy McClure. You may remember me from such other clip shows as The Simpsons 138th episode Spectacular and The Simpsons spin-off Showcase. I couldn't remember the episode titles. Thanks for covering me there. And all singing, all dancing. Gladys the Groovy Mule.
My God, I don't know how you guys remember this stuff. I remember the episode, but I can't remember word for word.
You'll never make a monkey out of me. Dr. Zaius, Dr. Zaius, Dr. Zaius, Dr. Zaius, Dr. Zaius, Dr. Zaius. Oh, Dr. Zaius. From chimpanzee to chimpanzee. Dr. Zaius, what's wrong with me? I think you're crazy. What a second opinion, and also lazy. What a great fucking joke.
One thing that's a little strange today is you guys are actually together. That never happens.
No, usually not. Yeah, because we usually do this later. But we were hanging out today and did this earlier than we usually do. Not that our viewers would know that because they watch it whenever. But
pretty much, or not at all.
And not that you would know by looking out the window because we're in the far north and it's fucking dark already at 5 o'clock. But. Right.
Yeah, well, it's pitch black here, so I know the feeling.
Well, is it blacker than a woodchuck's asshole, Wayne?
That I would not know. All right, well.
Ralph Wood, let's get one.
Speaking of woodchucks, one of the first clips I got here it has nothing to do with a woodchuck, but one of the first clips I have here is the first time that we actually had Ralph Vieira on our King Diamond podcast, Greg.
Oh, cool.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did the EP.
Yep.
It was like, So, I mean, I never knew who Ralph Vieira was. Actually, I found out who Ralph Vieira was through Lou Mavs, who does the Music is Life show on our network. And then I added him to Facebook, and I found out he was like this big, huge King Diamond fan. I was like, oh my God, I got to get this guy on the show. And then I found out he does podcasts, and I was like, all right, this is going to be even better because he's not just some random guy. And
I knew Thrasher Die, but I had no idea he did all that online. Yeah, I knew Thrasher Die as well.
I didn't know Thrasher Die, so that, I was kind of out of the loop on that one. But, it was cool to have him on the show and then find out he's got the huge podcast. Like you said, he's got the band. So, it was cool to have him come and do that show, and then he's been staying with us to do that King Diamond show ever since. So, I really appreciate Ralph joining our show, and even coming on our Rat Salad review shows too. He's been a really cool guy with us, and so check out the first meeting of Ralph Vieira on the King Diamond podcast. This broadcast belongs to them.
Yes, indeed.
Doomed by the Living Dead.
My favorite song on the album.
Mine
and
too.
Probably I don't know if it'd be my overall favorite Faith song, but it's definitely pretty high up there.
Yeah, I think so too.
The first time seeing Merciful Fate for me in the Shadow Tour, all the way up front, center, pressed against and that was filmed by a friend of mine that had permission, and that footage is actually the indoor footage from the Bell Witch video.
Right, yeah.
They opened with Doomed by the Living, and they had two big screens on the side that had the album cover, the EP album cover.
Ah, that's awesome.
Doomed by the Living Dead. I'm telling you, man, it was like a fucking religious experience. I was like, oh my God. Watching them do Doomed by the Living Dead was just so fucking mind-blowing. And yeah, I agree with you guys. It is my favorite track on the album now. And, which is pretty epic for me because every song on this album is a solid 10. But, and as I said earlier, I had the lyrics, but I don't know why I never really checked the lyrics of the song because the part where he says, I am here, Satan in my head, for the longest time I thought he was saying Iron Maiden. And I was like, cool, man, he's saying Iron Maiden. And then finally I read the lyrics one day. I was like, oh, he's saying I'm here, But I love that song. I love the way it starts, the creepiness, and Doomed by the Living Dead, And
Sounds like
no way to survive this evil night. Yeah, that chorus part is just awesome.
and again, hearing the word fucking.
Yeah, it's all your fucking angels.
And I was like, oh shit, he said fucking. It was so special back then to hear a bad word. It was like unheard of,
Right.
It's like, wow, it's cunt and fucking.
Yep.
This is an X-rated album, man.
Yep. And
like,
they got a drawing of a nun with her tits out, on a cross.
Yeah, with a pentagram above her.
Being burned.
Might as well added more words like George Carlin. Shit, piss, cunt, motherfucking, and tits. Put them all in there. Why not? They put the two of the filthiest ones.
All right, so that was Ralph Vieira on the King Diamond podcast. Another pretty cool thing about the King Diamond podcast, we actually a new interview with the bassist Pontus Edberg. Remember we did that one, Greg?
Yep.
That one was pretty cool because we got to talk a little bit about how he joined the band and then what's going on with the band now. Because how long has it been? Like maybe a year or two that he's announced that a new album's coming out and nothing's going on.
I think it's been 2 years now, hasn't it? Because
something like that.
I know the last tour was only about a year ago, but I believe he announced a new album was coming a couple months before that. Mm-hmm. Because he had the single and all that.
Yeah, they released a single, so everybody was like all excited for this new album to come out, and then it was just like nothing's coming. So I finally got to get in touch with Pontus Edberg. Boy, I'm gonna make a best of show out of my mistakes. Holy shit!
Yeah. Oh shit! I thought you froze.
No, I didn't freeze. So anyway, we got Pontus Edberg on the show, and it was really cool to get him on here. Some of these people, when I try to email them and see if they'll come on, I don't know if they're ever going to come on or not. Especially somebody like him because he's in King Diamond, they're touring and they're busy. So I always take a shot. But thankfully, he said yes, and he came on the show, talked about the new album, what's going on, and here's the clip. Is there a reason why he decided to release this one song now? So people can hear something's going on, or?
Yeah, I guess so. And we I think all of us, including King, had hopes for more music to be released by now. Right. But things have come in the way, all kinds of stuff. And the reason we wanted to put this one out is, to have something new when doing our US tour that we did this fall.
Right.
And we do have we did have the new stage set up and everything for that. Sort of goes with the theme of what's coming next, the Institute.
Yeah.
And so it felt good for everyone to have at least one new song out.
Yeah, that's cool. It is a very good song. It does have a little bit of I guess older King Diamond. Are you a fan of King? Obviously, you're in the band now, but are you a fan of like older King Diamond stuff, or are you just like how did you get into King Diamond, basically?
Well, to tell you the truth, I've heard King Diamond, of course, but I've never been a big fan.
You just got
what?
You just got fired. Sorry.
No, but I got thrown into this sort of by accident, and but ever since I did get thrown into it, I loved every moment of it, and I really do dig all of the music that we play, and it's super nice. And playing with the guys in the band is fantastic. They're super great musicians, and King himself always delivering at the top of his game. So I guess I've become a fan.
Right, yeah.
So that's good, but I do appreciate the fact that maybe we're going back to a little bit more of the older style of King Diamond.
Yeah, from this one song, that's what it seems like a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, and that was Pontus Edberg on the This Broadcast Belongs to Them podcast. Sometime during this year, I don't remember what was going on, but there was a couple shows where you guys were too busy, and we just didn't have time to get together and do stuff. For what reason, I don't remember. So I took it upon myself to find my own interviews, and then I kind of made my own show in the middle of this whole thing. So, but one of the first interviews I did on my own was Annette Olsen from Nightwish.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, that was a really, really cool interview. And I forget what we're talking about in this section, but God, I can't remember what I picked. Well, it doesn't matter. You'll find out here on this clip. Very cool interview. If you didn't get to see it, please go back. It's on the YouTube page and our Podbean and iTunes stuff.
Yes, it is.
So,
conveniently in a playlist titled Wayne's Interviews.
That's right. So go check that out and check out this little clip, and it'll give you a little insight of how Annette is and what she's doing. Actually, we were talking about the Annette Olsen, which was funny because when I was getting this clip together, I was watching because I always screw up every little word I say all the time, and I could not remember the name of the album she was doing. And the fucked up thing was, the name of the album had her name in the title. I couldn't remember her name.
Wow.
Wayne the Blurst of Times knew.
Yeah. That's right.
The blurst of time.
You stupid monkey.
Well, what the problem was, there's a band called Alan Land, Russell Allen from Symphony X, and Alan Landy, and Jorn Land. Oh my God! See, I'm doing it now. Jorn Landy. So it's Russell Allen and Jorn Landy doing albums together, and then Russell Allen did an album with Annette Olsen. So I kept getting it confused with Alan Landy. So
Gotcha.
So there's that. So that's that lead into Alan Olsen, Annette Olsen. Oh my God! Watch the clip.
England version.
And he's gonna be a singer, he says, and he's also, so you know, gonna be a Ghostbuster.
Oh, really?
That's his work. He's gonna chase ghosts and sell them to those that he has a good plan.
Sounds good to me.
I think it's cool that I have a Ghostbuster in the family.
Yeah. Any ghosts in your house? I mean, do we have to worry?
There has been here, but it's been very calm for a long time.
Oh yeah? What's happened?
There were some really weird, disturbing things happening in some years ago. Me and my eldest son had some disturbing things where our shoes could be placed in the hallway, like in a straight line. No one had put them there. And one evening or morning, I think it was an evening, I was in the bathroom, and then I heard my husband getting in talking. And I opened the door, I get out, and my son comes out, and he also heard him, but he wasn't there.
Really?
Yeah, and then my son's TV has been weird in many things. But then there was this also a girl contacting me all of a sudden in an email. She said, "You don't know me, but I can like travel. You know, it sounds really weird. I can travel out of my body, and I was in your home, and there is some really mean kind of spirit in your house." And this was when my son couldn't sleep, and the TV went on and off, and the shoes, and and she said, "But I had been there, and I put like something on the door to protect you, and I promise you, it stopped." And
Really?
I don't know, but me and my son was like, "We don't know," but it was really, really weird. So, and also I said to this kind of ghost or whatever, I said like, "Okay, you can be here, but you cannot frighten us." And then it's been cool.
Really?
So I don't know, but
Yeah.
if it wasn't a ghost or anything, but it was really weird.
Yeah. Do you believe in paranormal experiences?
I want to believe. I cannot say that I don't believe, but I haven't. I've seen some shapes and I feel some weird, but I want to believe in paranormal stuff and in ghosts and everything. It would be
Yeah.
nice if we could come back, you know, if we're not mean.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you don't want
I
the asshole ghosts.
No, I mean, I would like to visit my family if I would go away, you know, up to the
Right.
sky or somewhere. So yeah.
Yeah. I always wondered about that, but I guess we'll find out one day, right? Unfortunately.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe not. Whatever.
All right, that was my interview with Annette Olsen. So go check out the full-length interview if you haven't watched it yet. I did
Pretty cool
another.
interview.
For
That
you
went
Yeah,
by
it was
pretty
really cool,
fast.
but
It did go by pretty fast. I did another interview on my own.
The future. Whoa. The future. Moon pie. What a time to be alive. Frostillicans, you know.
I did another interview on my own, and actually, you guys were supposed to join me on this one, but I think Nate, you had band practice,
probably.
and I think Greg, you had to work or something. And I
Oh,
wish
is
we were
this
all
the Lips
together.
interview?
Yeah, yep,
Damn it! I was pissed I couldn't do that.
yeah. It's a shame because it was a really cool interview. He was a really really nice guy, and
Oh yeah.
I wish you guys could have been there too. But we
Yeah,
talked.
I couldn't get off.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Maybe-
mean, you weren't the best person to have on site.
Well,
you know.
yeah. I mean, I don't like Anvil, but Lips is a cool guy.
Yeah,
so-
exactly.
Yeah, he's a good storyteller. So either way, But check out this clip with me and Lips from Anvil.
And I was reading something earlier, and I didn't even know about this. Let me ask you to join Motorhead at one point,
Yes, that's right.
and you turned it down.
I had no choice. I
Why?
was in the middle of recording my third album. I had enough going on during that third album.
Yeah, but it was Motorhead.
Recording that third album, and David Krebs is telling us to come and fucking tour with Aerosmith. Lemmy's asked me to join Motorhead. It's like, what the fuck is going on? Just let me get my job done. You know what I mean? I want to get the album done. As it was, we had to start all over again when we got back from the Aerosmith run
Right. Yeah. What year was that?
in '83.
83. All right. Who left Motorhead at that point?
Of '83, man.
Who left? Who was the guitar player at Motorhead that left?
It was Eddie Clark.
It was okay. Yeah. Wow. You could have had a spot in Motorhead, but hey, it worked out for you anyway, so it doesn't matter, I guess, right?
Well,
I mean, Motorhead was around forever too.
it may not have worked out if I'd been in Motorhead. You know, maybe that's not working out. It's not working out, and I wouldn't have been with Rob. And the Fortune
Well, I
Fire
mean, it ended up working out. You being
happened,
staying with
and
Elvis.
either would the other 10 other albums that I recorded. You know what I mean? There's a lot that wouldn't have happened. There would have been no Anvil movie. It would have been really changed history in a huge way.
Yeah, you could have got kicked out of Motorhead the first week you were there, and then you would have screwed Anvil up, I guess, right? You
That's
never know.
right. No, there's no way we'll ever know what would have happened or what would have occurred or what the songs would have been like.
Yeah. You would have did a good job, though. Like I said, your guitar playing's
All
excellent.
right, that was my interview with Lips from Anvil. Going back to the King Diamond podcast, Greg, our first time having Martin Popov on the show.
Yes. Oh, I can't believe I forgot to mention it. But
What?
Nah, damn it, I just fucked that up. Kim Ruz, just a small snippet of that interview. That's a highlight right there.
I was getting to that.
Oh, okay.
You know what? Just because you mentioned it, we're going to do Kim Ruz first.
Okay.
But yeah, getting Kim Ruz on the show was like, maybe we should just ended the show because that's like one of the biggest guests I think I've probably ever interviewed. I don't know about you, Greg, that we've had on the show, but it was just really cool because he just kind of like disappeared, and nobody's ever heard him in a long time. And then he just popped up on Facebook one day, and I added him. And I messaged him, and he got back to me, and I was like, "Holy shit!" He actually, talked to us. And then I wasn't sure. Maybe somebody made up an account and they're pretending to be him or whatever. And then to find out when we called him that it was really him, that was awesome.
Yeah, imagine somebody catfishing you, and it's some 40-year-old dude in his basement. He's like, "Hey guys, I just wanted to get on the show."
It'll happen one day. I know it will.
One day.
Yeah. He'll be butt naked too.
But yeah, that was really cool. I mean, it was like his first interview in 30 years.
Yeah.
Well, he said actually he thought it might have been ever.
I know he did do another one.
Right.
Yeah. I know he did do another one because he did have a band at one time. It wasn't like a big, huge interview or anything, but I think this was the biggest one he's done in a while.
Yeah. But still, that's cool. Oh no, we'll probably have ones that will measure up with it, but nothing really tops that. I mean, come on, Merciful Fate's original drummer.
Yeah, no, he was a very cool guy too, and I sent him a T-shirt. I don't know if he ever got it or not, and the tracking never showed it did, but I don't know. And then I still try to contact him to this day, and he hasn't wrote me back. I know his phone broke, so I don't know. I don't know if he's not checking his emails or what, but we kind of lost contact. So I hope one day, or maybe if he sees this, write me back, all right, please.
Yeah,
back.
Play on a cover song with us.
Yeah, that's right. That would be awesome. So hopefully one day he does come back. Oh, and Ralph Vieira also joins us on this episode too because we did a what do you call it? He played this on his show as well. So
yeah, because
we did a little cross show thing there.
Huge Kim Ruz and Merciful Fate fan, and Ralph's always a highlight. I'm so happy he's coming on and doing.
Oh yeah,
cool guy too.
Oh yeah. It's been a lot of fun doing the King Diamond show at Ralph. So, but here's the little clip from when we interviewed Kim Ruz. All right, we'll be right back.
Did you guys have any talks of maybe doing something again when you got that award?
Yeah, every time we get together, we talk about doing something. But it's like for me, it's like if you go on holiday, you meet some interesting people, and when you're about to go home and you have to say goodbye, you say, we'll meet and we'll do this and we'll do that, and nothing ever happens exactly the same. A lot of talk and nothing. I think every time Hank says to me, "You have to come and join some of my projects," and I said, "Yeah, you just call." Nothing ever happens.
Hank seems to be a problem.
Hank is Hank. He's a special guy.
Yeah. We're finding that out.
So Kim, are you still playing drums? Do you have a drum kit at home?
Yeah. Of course, I'm playing drums still. But
awesome.
I'm not. I've got a double bass pedal now. Not the double bass. It's
you sold out.
No, a downsized bit. I've got a big house by the beach, and with 2 kids staying home and a dog and a wife, and they need space, and I've got a little room for myself where I can put up the drums and my sound equipment if I want to. So I'm good.
You got, your drums are in the closet.
No, they're not in the closet. I'd rather give them away than put them on the attic or put them in the closet. Drums are to be played on.
Well, that's good. You're keeping your chops
up.
All
kind of music. I played in the jazz big band. I played reggae. I played in a reggae band at the same time as I played with Merciful Fate. Did you know that?
No,
I did not.
In the start, when I started up with Merciful Fate, I think I've been playing with them for 2 or 3 months. We had a place in Denmark, called Sydhavn. This was 10 rehearsing rooms, gathered in one spot where you rented a room, and the next door band was some nice guys playing reggae, and then one day the drummer that didn't show up, and I said I can play with you, and then I did join them just for the fun, but it didn't become King very well. He couldn't associate to Common Man House with, but that's not his style.
yeah, of course. All right, that was Kim Ruz. Very awesome interview, and he talked a little bit about Hank Sherman on there, and it was pretty funny because I guess maybe there's some bad blood or something, as you know, because Hank Sherman already screwed Michael Denner a little bit, with the not telling him about the reunion, but I don't know. Yeah, it is what it is. Another interview I did on my. Oh no, actually, hold on. Oh, another interview that we did on the King Diamond show. Martin Popoff. Yeah, I thought that was really cool. I mean, I knew who he was like way back in the day when I was in my old band Phoenix Rain. My guitarist somehow started talking to him, and he did all these questionnaires for a book that he was writing, and I ended up answering the questions in that book. So I might be in that book somewhere. So that was pretty cool, but I really didn't know too much about him. So when I saw he was like a big King Diamond fan because he did a Merciful Fate book, right?
Yep, yeah, he sure did. It's I think a new round of them actually just got printed. So
really?
Go to his website and check it out because it's an excellent book. All his books are good though. I mean, that's how I knew who he was. I got his collector's guide to heavy metal, I think, when it first came out when I was in high school, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
There's some really cool stuff in there. He's always very thorough and very interesting books. He's done a couple on Blue Oyster Cult that are really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so check out our little interview that we did with Martin Popoff for the King Diamond podcast, and we will be right back.
King is the biggest sweetheart and a cuddly dude anyway.
Yeah, that's
right?
what's
like
so funny.
Yeah, I mean, you read the interviews with him or you talk to him, and he's just so enthusiastic about music, and he's a very moral guy, and he likes talking about moral issues. And then also in the book, you find out a little later, like when he explains a lot about what he believes in. It's not witches and devil satanic.
Right.
So it's not even that, but it's also, even I didn't explore it fully because he went on to what he really believes, but it's not even really all that much, down the path of the Anton LaVey thing. Although he says he kind of bonded with Anton about, feeling a certain way about stuff. But then when King actually explains what he believes, it's almost like a complete strange reincarnation type religion in itself. It's not a religion. It's just a very bizarre belief that this whole thing about what does he say? So it's about how we go through lives and you keep getting reincarnated because you haven't experienced everything in life yet, like killing someone or love or marriage or having kids or riding a Sea-Doo or whatever it is, right? It's like you keep getting reincarnated, and then possibly I don't know. It's all explained in there by King and not me, so it's even better.
Okay.
But basically the idea is, and then I think I took a couple runs at it because I let him talk about it a couple times because he kept adding in other things. But I think the idea is you don't really pass on to the other world or whatever it's called. And that he also keeps vague as well, right? You don't pass on to this other world situation until through all your 6 or 7 or 12 lives, you've experienced everything a human being is supposed to experience, and then you pass on to this other world or whatever, right? But the other funny thing about
Long
King,
journey.
though, is there's interesting stuff in here about paranormal things that, you know, we've all heard him talk about and tell these stories about these
Right. Yeah.
but even you'll hear some of the producers talk about the little gremlin that would happen or the weird things that would come on the recordings and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, they tell these stories and they're perfectly normal guys, and you listen to them and you sort of just find yourself believing them, right? And
Right.
even when King explains all that stuff, the way he explains it, because he's such a good explainer, right?
Right. Yeah.
You basically end up believing them, right?
Mhm.
It's like, I don't think I might be getting this confused. I don't think this is a King story. No, I don't think this is a King story, but I remember hearing a paranormal story. You guys are experts in this. You can tell me if this is a King story, and if it is, it's actually in the book, because I keep forgetting whether this is a King story or not. But about no, I think this is why I'm getting this wrong, because part of it is King and part of it, the other detail is not King. But I remember somebody perfectly sober explaining to me a story about a cup lifting off of a desk.
Yes. Yeah. Mhm.
No, but wait, listen, it gets
Okay.
different. There's a twist. And the cup turns over like this, and it pours a big pile of sand onto the desk.
Well, that I didn't hear.
So that is not part of the King story. But you hear a story like that and you go, wow, that is a crazy, crazy story. And it's almost like the crazier story, like that whole thing where people say, oh, you can't make this stuff up, right?
Mhm.
So I hear that story and go, wow, that is so wild that it does sound like something that nobody would make up, right?
All right.
So I don't know. So the long and short of it is, I'm not a big paranormal believer, but when King tells me this stuff, I basically actually believe him. I don't
Right.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he makes you believe. But
Yeah.
so far, we're just debunking all his stuff, because every guest that we've had on so far has said they have never seen anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, does that include any of the guys that were there? How about at his parties, at his apartment?
Yeah, Michael Denner said no. Snowy Shaw said no. Who was the other? David Harbour said no.
Dave Harbour said no. Yeah.
And who else do we have? I think that's it so far. Oh, no, Pete Black.
Yeah, I've had some say no's as well, but I'm wondering, it would be interesting to do some research and get like the girl that was in the washroom at the party, or the other guys when they were drinking and throwing beer bottles against the wall, and didn't they come back to the party after or something? And this whole thing about, or maybe he was alone when he had that thing where he says, oh, you could stand to the left and stand to the right, and there was this evil smell, and then there wasn't, right? So there's that one, but there's also like the people have heard in his apartment.
I've heard that one. And then there's an interview with Timmy Hansen on YouTube that I was watching fairly recently, and he explained a thing that he saw, like a shadow thing that he saw in King's apartment one time. But he's the only one I ever heard talk about that.
Yeah.
We didn't get to have him on the show, obviously, because he passed away.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. I don't know. The whole paranormal thing. I suppose I don't really believe it. I mean, at the bottom, at the face of it, I guess I don't really believe it. So.
And if we ever have Kim Ruz on, if you're watching this damn show, Kim Ruz, you better get me.
All right, we're back. That was Martin Popoff. Check out the rest of that interview. He actually also does another show with you, Greg, not too long ago.
Yes, where we talked about his book, his new
Yeah.
Blue Oyster Cult book, Visual BOC. Yeah, and that was cool.
Yeah, I put a little clip of that on here as well.
Awesome.
And we'll go to it right now.
Cool. That was a good interview. Good book.
It was. Actually, on this part that I picked, he's showing like some of the posters, because I remember on the King Diamond show that we did with him, he was showing all these posters that he does with the colored pencils.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does some really cool artwork. So I think there's a little bit of it in this clip as well. So check that out.
Cool.
And, he does some really cool stuff. So, all right, check out Greg's interview with Martin Popoff about Blue Oyster Cult.
Show you one other thing here.
Sure.
And this, unfortunately, I think we didn't put this in there. So I have some regrets. I was going to take a picture of this and put it in, but I don't think I did. It's in the pictures on my Facebook and on my site, holding the pages open. But there's this little
oh, wow.
Agents of Fortune thick plastic cube full of sand, and it's a pen holder. See, it's got a hole here. You hold a pen like that in it. So that was really cool. That's a neat promo item that I have.
Wow,
but
that's
I
a
don't
cool
think
one.
we even I forgot it. Slipped my mind to take a picture of it and stick it in the book. So dang. Oh well.
I have and the one probably isn't in there because it's just a tour scarf. They made those constantly throughout the 80s, but I have a counter display for, I believe, the 8-track of mirrors. It's designed to have the 8-track snap into it,
cool.
but it's the car mirror die cut, and it kind of pops out of the stand.
That's nice. Yeah, I don't think that one's in there, but yeah, there is one or two from Jim that are in there. I think there's a Fire of Unknown Origin die cut in there. So yeah, and all the 45 sleeves. I mean, amazing. Even their 45 sleeves are just so cool, right? And then promo pictures and the ads. That's the other thing I always have throughout all my books. I love the ads to the point where I've started drawing ads myself, right? I've started drawing and coloring, and let me show you that too. So I did this. Let me see here if I can find these quickly for you. So I've even started. Because I love the ads so much, I started drawing them just black and white to begin with. But then I started doing, color ones like this. So this is making up my own.
Oh wow!
Making up my own. This is pencil crayon on black stock, but making up, putting the text in a different place and coming up with different colors. So I've started getting into, here's a Black Sabbath one I made up that doesn't exist. I just took some World War II planes and used some text from an old, Killer's ad. And then let's see what else we got. I mean, there's another Sabbath one. I'll just show you the other Blue Oyster Cult one, but this one's pretty straightforward, a Technical Ecstasy one. So yeah, it's just pencil crayon on black stock. But because I love the ads so much, and I've always put them in my books, so here's a very made up one, right? So that's a photo by a buddy of mine named Rich Galbraith that I made and mirrors ad and came up with my own color scheme on. So there you got Eric there.
That's awesome, Martin.
So
and the really cool thing I like about what you did there is
one more. There's my Zeppelin Presence one.
Oh wow!
So yeah,
that's a really cool idea there.
Doing show and tell. I'll just keep going here. Here's
why not?
Here's the Led Zeppelin Whole Lot of Love one. So what I do is I find old ads where I like the text, but there's not much to the ad, and maybe it was a black and white ad, and then I come up with new stuff. So here's one I made up from an old Magic poster for In Through the Outdoor. So there's the In Through the Outdoor text, and then let's see, guy reading from a book there. That's from an old Magic ad, right?
That's really cool.
And we've got Stranglers. These ones that are not on black text, are not on black paper.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always stressed out that they're not going to turn out, and I hate doing them while I'm doing them because it's so hard getting the pencil crayon to transfer. But when I'm done, I'm usually happy with it. And here's a Stranglers one again using a Magic ad, an old Magic poster ad, right? So, and then this one's going to be hard to see, but this is just white monochromatic white pencil crayon on a gray stock. So that's The Damned, and some text from a Magic poster calling it black art. And
that's really neat.
There's the gal from The Damned. So, anyways, I'll stop there. So yeah, but yeah. So the Blue Oyster Cult book is crammed with lots of the ads, right? Because I just love the ads, and the Blue Oyster Cult ads are even some of the best ones. So there's even some displayed full, some small, but yeah, I even want to do a whole series of books just on ads. I wouldn't mind doing that because I have a big collection of 4,000 of these cutout ads from Melody Maker and Sounds and Enemy, and I just right. So Anyways.
All right, that was Greg.
Welcome
Martin
back. For
Popoff.
just $15, we'll send you a Rat Salad Review mug. If you just pledge $15.
But if you pledge $75, you get a tote bag.
Oh, a tote bag?
Pledge
A tote bag.
$100.
Yep.
We'll autograph your sneakers.
Yeah, but then they'd have to send us the sneakers.
Okay.
Sounds
Who's
like a
go-
personal problem to me, but
Who's going to
Yeah,
pay for
I'm
the
not paying
shipping?
for postage. We're too cheap for that shit.
Yeah, I'm not paying for postage. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, what are you, a mailman? What the fuck?
that's why
Not-
you can't afford to pay for them.
Right.
I would not be a mailman during these times.
Never.
Never, ever.
Anyway.
Especially during the holiday season.
Oh yeah. Why sully the good name of FedEx?
Yeah, God, terrible. Well, Nate, you've been on the show. I guess it's been a year, right?
Yeah, it's been a year.
It's been a year, probably about now. Maybe a little bit, maybe a month ago. It might have been a year,
Something like that.
something like that. But it's been a total pleasure having you on this show.
Yeah, it's quite spiced it up. It's fun.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm an agent of chaos. What can I say?
Yeah, you are. You've been fun, but there have been times where you're a little hungry during the episodes.
Yeah. I wonder how that goes.
So you sons of bitches. Well, there was
I don't
one.
know what you mean, Wayne.
Yeah, I don't know what I mean either. But there was one episode where we had Lou Mavs on the show, and Nate got a little overzealous with the chips. We'll check that out here.
Oh, it's a good one.
Yeah, it's
World.
what?
Where does that go?
What?
Shit, I wanted you to cut back, and I was going to do the line from Wayne's World
Yeah,
with the Doritos. I can't remember what the fucking line is.
I don't know.
Damn it, that would have been a great joke. Oh well.
Here's the
We would
clip.
never do product placement, Wayne. We've got more integrity than that. And then he goes, "Well, that's your choice, and it's the choice of a new generation." And
I
holds
don't
up
have
a
anything.
Pepsi.
I'll hold up a Black Star amp. Maybe we'll be sponsored by Black Star. Get this new Halloween Black Star amp. Only yours
Nice
for
box.
$109.
Gosh, Greg, these Doritos are so energizing and refreshing.
Yes, they are.
All right, go check out the clip with Nate eating chips. It's pissing me off.
Ozzy's attempt at singing, but I'm just like, I don't think most people could have pulled off what they did. So, we got somebody else. Hello.
Hey, that is Nate. Nate is here.
I'm the other host.
Hello, Nate.
Hey.
Cheers.
This is Lou Mavs.
It's called
Or
a
Lou-
fashionable entrance.
Or Lou. How do you pronounce your full last name? I can never figure that out.
Mavrudis.
Mavrudis. All right, it's not as hard as I thought it was.
That's why I just keep the first syllable and pluralize it.
But Nate, Lou, Nate.
Cheers. How you doing, man?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Yeah. He says, I wish the others all the best. I really do. Do I still love them? Yes. I certainly don't resent them. I just wish them well. He's made it very well known to everybody who was important that I wanted something that was fair, and it just didn't happen. Even if someone had held a gun to my head, I couldn't have signed the contract. It was one of the most regrettable things I've ever done through my life, and I was particularly sad for the fans over how things ended up. But that hasn't stopped me from loving the guys. Black Sabbath is where my heart lies.
Sabbath going.
Well,
I'll tell
I
you
mean,
some
you
plain
know,
flour.
you can say Sharon or Ozzy or whatever at some point, but at some point you also have to acknowledge the fact that Iommi and Geezer would have been equal partners with Ozzy in it. You know, it's not like they didn't have any say on. Don't understand why they all turned around and were kind of like, oh well, fuck Bill. You know,
Actually, I think Ozzy actually sued Tony for co-ownership of the name Black Sabbath sometime around 2006, which is why in 2007 when they reunited with Ronnie, Bill Ward was originally supposed to be part of that. But again, he said there was a contract dispute, which is why he didn't sign on. So they got Vinny back in. But by early 2007, Ozzy and Tony both co-owned the name Black Sabbath. So Geezer has nothing to do with it. And Bill, I just feel like he gets shafted because, most people think, oh, he's just a drummer. They could get anybody else. Well, I think it proved, having Brad Wilk and Tommy Clufetos, you can't just get anybody else when it comes to Black Sabbath. You need Bill Ward. The sum equals the whole of that band. You can't have I mean, that's not to say that other Sabbath lineups didn't create great music, but that's just content that they put out that was just really good. Some people prefer an album like Headless Cross or some do like the Seventh Star actually. What's the one between that? Eternal Idol. Some people even think Born Again is like the last good Sabbath album, the one with Ian Gillan.
It is. It's the best album they ever recorded.
But I love that album, so I can't say anything bad about it. But there's just the magic about the original four that you can't replicate with anybody else.
Well, except for Ronnie James Dio on Heaven and Hell and
once
Dio
Gillan stopped being
on
jam
Born
band.
Again. I mean,
that is a perfect album in my opinion. So
once Dio came in, they had a singer that could actually sing, so it really opened up the possibilities for what they could do.
Dio project.
Which is kind of ironic, though, because if you think about it, where did Ronnie just come from before Black Sabbath? Rainbow. And,
right. Which Rainbow was the best thing he ever did.
And like those concerts were like an hour and a half long, where they only played seven songs, and they stretched each song out to like 20 minutes and made it a jam session. So maybe he got sick of that, doing that with Richie, and he didn't want to do that with Sabbath. So maybe that's what happened.
I mean, Sabbath would be a jam band because they'd be always on acid.
This is true.
Yeah.
We'll
okay.
get Dio.
Hell of
We'll
a
get
drunk.
Dio on the we'll get Dio on the show and find out. Steel Panther. What?
Let's get a seance going. We'll get Robbie back.
What would we have to do to? What kind of seance would we need to get Dio back?
We need to play Candlemass with Messiah, just to have
Get Lemmy first. I want Lemmy back first.
You want Lemmy back first? All right.
Then Dave Brockie, then we can do Dio.
This should be a next show.
All right, I want in on that.
Bring back the dead. I never heard
it. It's awesome.
New Pedal has long been a rumor started by Panther guitarist Satchel and will become a reality when it ships to the public this summer. Limited production run on Butthole Burner will retail for $1.99, and if you can chew those fucking chips any goddamn louder, I'd appreciate it. Jesus Christ.
Mute, Nate, mute.
He needs a fucking mute button.
All right, we're back, and that was Nate being obnoxious as usual. And actually, I think that was the first episode that we had Lou Mavs on the show.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's a very
Also
cool guy.
fun.
Yeah, he's fun. I've known him for quite a long time. He's actually a friend of my old singer, and he used to come to my shows all the time. And we didn't really talk too much, but we did a little bit, not too much. And I don't know what it is. Like over the last few years, when he joined Facebook, we started talking. Then when he started making his own podcast, I made him. I wanted him to put his show on our network because he does a very good show.
Yep.
But I thought maybe he could use a little help, but I don't know if it's helping any at all. But if anybody hasn't heard Lou's show, please go check it out. It's Music is Life, and you can find it on our network, or you could just find it up on his own thing, Lou Mavs, and I think he's on iTunes, Anchor, pretty much everywhere. Yeah. But he's a very, very cool
Always
guy.
through YouTube on us. Always a cool show with him.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I just did a show with him a couple of nights ago. Check that one out. It should be up soon. We talk about ECW. Yeah, Eric Adams was also on that show, and when you do a show with Eric Adams, you don't really get to talk that much.
No, but it's always very funny.
It usually is very funny. And speaking of Eric Adams and Beyond Bushido, which is the show he is on, they actually came on our show, an album versus album show.
Yep.
And they pretty much took over the show.
yeah, that was interesting.
That was a great show.
It was a great show. We tried to do an album versus album. I mean, we kind of loosely
no way
did
we
it,
can
but
even edit that show down.
No,
Because literally all of it is hilarious and interesting.
It is.
None of it had to do with either of those albums, really.
Not really. We very loosely, but it was funny. It was hard for me to pick a clip of what to do from this episode, but I picked the clip where Eric actually came on the screen and he was going through the kids' stuff in the room. They were showing all the autograph things, so I thought that was hilarious. So Eric's a fucking character. Yeah, he's funny as shit. But check that clip out with Beyond Bushido on Album versus Album, and we'll be right back.
Don't.
Yeah, that's why I thought the Holocaust jokes.
Yes.
Okay,
with your
it's a
NWA
World War
power,
II based
with your
album.
white power T-shirt on right now, Eric. Great way to go.
Hold on. Here we go. So here are the belts.
Jesus
as you guys
Christ.
can see. Yeah. Then this is the collection of all like his sports memorabilia and his Ford DeLoreans, and the football player gloves are gone. Here's the goalpost I was talking about in the corner.
I bet
you.
the
40-year-old Here's the Batman.
It's the first
No,
down
you
mark.
understand. No, this guy fucks, okay?
Wait.
Trust me. Wait,
I'm
who's
sta- I'm-
all autographed that
I'm
baseball?
starting to get this now. All this sports memorabilia, all this high dollar stuff. He was the sealed witness in the Penn State trial, wasn't he?
Pretty much. Wait, who is that? That's the entire 2015 Braves. 2013 Braves.
He kind of looks like Quaylen.
Yes, he does. It is. That's exactly who it is. But now we'll go through this. Here's the autograph Andre the Giant photo certified that he got. Then we have autograph AJ Styles, autograph John Cena, autograph Kenny Omega, autograph Marty Skull, autograph CM Punk. I mean,
he had to have inherited.
Whoa, what is this that's worth $500? The Almighty Avengers? Why is it worth $500? Because it's the variant issue of number 3. It's Eminem and Iron Man. Hold on. Here's the autograph Harry Potter with Emma and Daniel Radcliffe and the other guy. Like, you guys don't understand how much stuff. You guys have no idea how much stuff we've just cleared out of this fucking room.
Does he have
You realize I could pay if I stole one of those boxes right now, Brady? I could pay my rent for the next 6 months.
Does he have the first Walking Dead comic?
Do you have the first Walking Dead comic?
No.
He doesn't like Walking Dead, so he does not have that.
What about Ninja Turtles?
What about Ninja Turtles? He just has those because they're WWF figures. He likes everything. What the fuck is all this? He's got drawers of what the fuck? Keep still. Look at this.
What?
He has drawers full of fucking memorabilia too.
I think he's selling this stuff. This is all
No,
bootleg.
he's not selling it. This is
These are
all
all
the real
bootlegs.
shit. Look at this fucking guy.
He went to China. There's a Chinatown in Atlanta. It's
Yeah.
very secretive.
Here are all his fucking authentic fucking football jerseys autographed by the players.
Okay, he's got Todd Gurley. Okay.
Although that's his.
He inherited all of these. He has to have.
No,
I worked for the team.
he worked for the team.
Okay,
He shaved his head, and they were like, "Oh, of course, buddy." Yo, all right, you ready for
I
this?
can see him right now trotting out as
Hold on,
the
you ready?
honorary bat boy for the
Autographed
Braves
Chipper
with the shoes
Jones World Series 30th anniversary jersey. That's the actual 95 World Series Welcome to the Show jersey.
Wow.
Look at that. Look at it.
Yeah.
Look, it's
He
even
wasn't
got-
even born.
He wasn't even born yet.
Wasn't born.
Oh, and if one Chipper Jones wasn't worth enough, there's a Swanson. That's authentic infield play. What else do we got
Gwinnett
here?
Braves Back
That's
to
a
the
Gwinnett Braves Back to the Future jersey.
Wow.
Or a Kazmar.
Game worn.
Game worn, excuse me.
Rock Casmore.
God forbid I don't mention the fact it was game worn. What's this? Auburn? Okay,
No, that's
Auburn's
white.
one.
Wait. Who is that? Is that
Auburn
what was
College.
he was a pitcher for him?
Georgia football. No, that's you. Oh, that's your lacrosse. Because that's right. You did play for Georgia. Here we go. Why do you have a
What on
Virginia
the
Tech jersey?
That's the University of Virginia.
That's NBA.
Virginia. Wait, what's this? Matthew Stafford, fucking official. Fucking
Of course,
NFL
he has a
jersey.
Matthew Stafford official.
I fucking hate you. Get me out of your house now. I want to die.
I've been out of his house in 5 minutes.
I can't get out of his house, is what I'm trying to tell you. There's so much memorabilia here. If I take
Touch
one
any of that
step,
Georgia crap.
if I take one step right now, I'm going to wind up breaking something worth $10,000.
Oh boy.
He is a memorabilia monster.
I am
insane.
Going back to our
That was
show.
Beyond Bushido on Album versus Album. Fucking hilarious episode. So go check it out because it was really worth a watch. It was really messed up, made absolutely no sense, but it was funny. Funny shit. I did another interview show on my own with Jordan Landy, and on this clip that I picked, he talks about his time with Dio, and I thought it was very interesting. So get that little clip a watch and actually go back and check out the whole interview. I mean, Jordan Landy, he likes to talk a lot, so the episode is a lot longer than I usually like to have, but he does have some interesting things to say. So if you haven't watched it, give it a look. See, all right. So go check out this little clip with Jordan Landy, and we'll be right back.
Yeah. Now, how come the Yngwie Malmsteen thing didn't work out with you?
No, I was just helping Yngwie out with that. Well, first there was one tour, and then there was another one because his former singer had left the band.
Yeah.
Mark Bowles
Yep.
had left, and so basically that's what that was all about. And and it didn't really, at first it was all good, and I mean, he's from Sweden, so I mean I could talk to him and stuff. So we were kind of on the same page with that, but eventually, it kind of changed along the way, so there was a lot of stuff going on there, which was not good stuff. There's a lot of, disrespect within the whole organization there and going on, which is, I guess I was the one who brought subjects to the table when most other people didn't say anything, So I guess I was taking all the heat for it.
Right. Yeah.
So that must be my Nordic blood, But it's a Viking thing.
Right.
If there's a lot of bullshit going on, you just want to address the problem, right? And
Right.
I guess I was the one who did that, and so I was the one to take the heat for it, and so it didn't work out. In the end, there was a lot of, I would say, soap opera going on. There was in the end we had there were police, and we were arrested, and there was a lot of stuff
For
going
what?
on there that people don't know. Yeah, a lot of
Well,
stuff
you got to
going
give
on.
us something now. Come on.
Tell you the story. One day I'll tell you the detailed story through some kind of maybe a biography or something, which is I mean, isn't that typical? People write a book
Yes.
or something and then
Pretty much.
explain
Are you
what actually went down there. I guess I'll get to that same same point maybe someday. I have a lot of stories to tell. So it might be interesting to some.
Yeah, I'm sure it would be. Well, you didn't bring him a box of donuts and
Yeah.
apologize to him?
No, not really. I had nothing really to apologize for. I think and in general, I think maybe it should be the other way around.
Yeah.
And, it still owes me a lot of money. So if you're gonna start that, then we can go in that direction. But I'm a guy who's kind of like I just move on. I don't hold any grudge towards the past. I also believe that people sometimes change, and you can't really see someone as a bad seed for the rest of your life. You know, of course, there are examples where people never change, of course, but I think it's a healthy thing to believe that, you know, that was what happened back then, and it was a nasty thing. It wasn't good. No, now that's a long time ago, and you just moved on, and you're on different places, you know, today. And I wish everyone, you know, good luck with everything and good health and all that. You know, it's just that sometimes you don't want to have someone in your tea, you know. You know?
That's always the best way, because you don't know what the other people are going through at that time.
And you never know, and you never know you never know what happens with people, you know, in the future. So
right, yeah, exactly. You don't want to sever any ties, just in case. You know?
I met people that I met people that I would never want to see again in my life, and then I've met them now. Like even not long ago, I met somebody, and it was a guy which I never really liked, and he did a lot of bad things to me in the past, and and suddenly it was totally different, you know.
Wow.
He actually you know, came and, you know, wanted to talk to me and said, oh, he was sorry for everything in the past, and he wanted everything to be, you know, and he actually took a lot of self-criticism for a lot of things, and he was, you know, such a sweet guy.
All right, that was my interview with Jorn Landy, and I also did one more interview. Oh no, actually I have one more after this one, but the first time I met Lisa Mann.
Oh yeah, that was
yeah, that was pretty cool. I had no idea who Lisa Mann was at all, and somebody added on Twitter had a friend by the name White Crone, and I'm like, who the hell's White Crone? And I just click on the name because she's got this picture. If you have the album, or if you go to her website, you see her like with this hood on, and you know, she looks like mysterious or whatever. So I checked it out, and I'm like, oh, she's in a band. So when I found out it was metal, I was like, oh, let me see if she'll come on the show. And thankfully she said yes. And pretty much she's been a friend of this show ever since, you know?
Yeah, Lisa's awesome. And it's funny because I knew some of her blues stuff, but I had no idea she had a metal band.
Yeah. Yeah, and she recorded pretty much the whole album by herself. I mean, she tried to do drums a little bit, but then she got a drummer she known to record the drums. But everything else is pretty much her. So it's a very awesome album. So if you haven't checked that out, White Crone, The Poisoner, very good album. And Lisa Mann, she's really awesome. She joins us on our King Diamond show all the time. She'll come on the Rap Side Review show. She's been on the Album vs. Album show and some other shows that we have. But
and does her own live cast usually every Tuesday.
Yeah, pretty much.
And does some blues music to help you take your pandemic blues away.
Yeah, she's one that really got hurt with the whole pandemic thing because music is her life, you know. And she gets to tour, not tour, but she's always doing shows and stuff like that. So she can't really do that, and she's just trying to sell her albums and doing whatever she can to make money. So, if you can,
support her.
Please support Lisa because she could really use it. All right, so go check out my little interview I did with Lisa, and we will be right back.
11 years old. Actually, I was like probably 8 years old, 7, 8 years old. And I started playing. My mom had an acoustic guitar, and I would hear like bass lines from like Deep Purple, and I would learn how to play the bass lines or Cream or Led Zeppelin, stuff like that. And because that's what my parents weren't hippies, but they were hippie adjacent, you know, so they had Steppenwolf records and all that stuff. And so I would play along with that stuff. And the first song I ever learned how to play actually was Space Truckin'. It was Deep Purple. And so, you know, I plunked that out on an acoustic, and I wanted a bass. I was really into Kiss, man. And I thought Gene Simmons is so cool. So I wanted a bass. And so I went to this pawn shop. It was in Charleston, West Virginia, and I'm 11 years old. And I saw this Beetle bass, and it was, you know, the violin shaped bass, but it had a scroll on top. And I was like, I gotta have that bass. And I actually worked at a pet store, like sweeping the floor for like a day, and I earned $10. And I took that $10 and I put that bass on layaway. And then I walked home from school every day for that whole year. And I would eat like toast or can of beans. I mean, I was like totally malnourished, but I had to have that bass. I would say,
Right.
and here's this little kid coming in there and here's another $10, mister, putting that bass on layaway. I still have that bass.
Oh, really?
I just love the sound of the bass. I love the sound of bass lines, even if it was like in a movie score or something.
Yeah.
I just loved it. I don't know. And then when I was 12, I moved out. My family moved out. My mom moved out to Oregon. A friend of mine gave me Iron Maiden Killers. And that was it. I was off. That was it. It totally changed my life. Iron Maiden Killers. And I was off to the races.
Are you a fan of Alice Cooper at all? The Alice Cooper
I
band?
am a fan of Alice Cooper. Yeah, I am a fan of Alice Cooper. A Billion Dollar Babies is a brilliant album.
That is a very brilliant album. Reason why I bring that up because his bass lines on Alice Cooper albums, those always stick out to me for some reason. Maybe because he does those little in between things and just stuff like that. There's not too many bass players that do that kind of stuff.
All right, that was my interview with
Uncle Saxon.
Yes, that was my interview with Lisa Mann, and like you just said, Nate, the rebirth of Uncle Saxon. This next clip, Uncle Saxon was gone for a while, and I mean he's still gone now, but he contacted me one day and kind of wanted to come back on the show to do an album versus album, and he wanted to do, what was the 2 albums? It was Dio and Black Sabbath, right?
And Holy Diver.
Yeah. So I said, sure, come on the show. What I did not know when I told him to come on the show, he would have no teeth.
Yeah. Did not know that at first either.
He was completely toothless. But hey, it's Uncle Saxon, and we still love him either way. So wherever you are, Uncle Saxon, we hope you're doing okay. And maybe one day you can come back on the show. Right? Maybe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But it's always a fun time with Uncle Saxon on the show. So check out this clip, and we'll be right back.
So you sit down and watch Rat Salad Review and forget about your troubles and hammer down a bottle of white wine.
And shrimp.
Fuck yeah.
Diddly diddly.
And
White
wine
spritzer. And white wine. Little tip Eric for your ass there.
All right.
So, can you see me? I mean, my face is perfectly in my picture. So
your face is as good as it's going to look.
You can see
I see him fine.
Yeah, you're fine.
Or, my nipples hurt when you pinch them.
Welcome to Album versus Album. What's going on, everybody? Oh shit! What the fuck is that thing? Who are you?
It's the Squatch. It's the Squatch.
I'm the cannibal humanistic underground dweller.
It's here to advertise Jack Wings.
I'm the
Bud
Chud.
the Chud.
Uncle Saxon, who the hell let Uncle Saxon on the show?
It was you, Wayne. You actually called me and begged me to come on, if I remember right.
That's true.
And it's like, the ratings are so low that we need you back, Uncle Sax. I'm like, well, you know something? I'm kind of doing my own thing, and Dragon, he's jerking off with the felching pole in his butt, and Nate, he doesn't even seem to know what's going on. He just makes macaroni and cheese and fucking slathers himself.
I'm just pulling it the Joe Biden way.
I'm just saying that, I thought I would come on and save your show. So here I am.
Oh, well, I'm so glad I called and thought of calling you. It was a good idea. Welcome back for now.
Thank you, brother. I love you guys, by the way. I miss you with all my heart. I wish I could hug each and every one of you individually and kind of maybe slip it in. I don't know.
We're good like this. It's.
Buy me a drink first.
I'm surprised nobody has a mask on. I'm the only one with a mask on.
I'm eating barbecue.
He's a mask.
What do you have
barbecue,
like?
you
What do you have
cocksucker.
like? People sick in your home or something? Why the fuck would you wear a mask in your own house?
Wait a minute. You're not supposed to wear it like 24 hours?
Wait, it's upside down.
And I mean, I already knew you were from New York, so I knew you were half a Riri, but I guess you're full blown now that you're wearing a mask in the basement.
Wait, I thought we were supposed to wear it like 24/7.
Where'd you guys
You
hide the
reminded me
body?
of
Car
Kyle's
rock
cousin
away?
Kyle.
So I don't have to wear it in the house.
Yeah, 24 seconds every
The
7
ever
minutes.
sick Jew.
I don't
24
know.
seconds every second. Yeah, that's totally the regulation. Fucking right. So, Wayne, I'll set the stopwatch here.
Ready?
Only for 24 seconds every 7 minutes, or you will get sick and die.
Hey, de Blasio fucking has been all over the tube, and so is Cuomo, and you know, we just gotta trust what they tell us.
All right. Well, that was Uncle Saxon making his appearance back on the show. Another episode that we had, another band I had no idea about. And Greg, this was one of your picks. Bill Lindsay from the band Impaler.
Impaler, yes.
Yeah, he's a
Yep,
really
but,
cool guy.
It was also one of Uncle Saxon's favorites.
Oh, really? Oh, I forgot. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot all about that. But it was actually at the time we were doing this interview, it was the 35th anniversary of his first album. So it was kind of cool. We got to talk about that. And then we got to find out that Bill Lindsay was this huge wrestling fan, which is really cool. So we got into the wrestling talking and found out a lot of really cool stuff. So here's our first interview with Bill Lindsay. Got anything else to say, Greg?
Bill's an awesome guy, and I love Impaler. They're a fun band, and yeah, from the wrestling and just we like a lot of the same 70s bands and stuff like that. Bill's just always a lot of fun to talk to. Really loves metal and the scene overall.
Yeah. Yeah, and he just
a lot of fun to watch perform, and
Oh, yeah.
the last band I saw before the pandemic.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. And we talk about that. We have him on again not too long ago. But yeah, go check out his band. And they got a new album out, The Great Hereafter. He actually just sent it to me. I don't have it here with me. It's upstairs. But yeah, he just sent that to me, and it's really good. So go check out his stuff. And another guy that needs everybody's support. Got to keep these bands going. So go check out our first interview with Bill Lindsay from Impaler.
So, yeah,
That's interesting. So you got entertainment in the front and in the back.
that's right.
How many
Everywhere
shows
you go.
did you have lined up for this year?
Well, we were going to fly out for that as a one-off. Typically, like when we do things like that, we kind of wrap it around a road trip.
Mm.
But we were just going to fly out and do that show. We don't travel as much as we used to. I don't enjoy being on the road as much anymore.
Right.
I like to be home.
Yeah.
I like to be with my family and walk my dog and do those kinds of things. So, so what we try to do is play more festivals and things like that where we can play, and a bunch of people from around the region will come to the festival and see us. Like we did Ragnarok in Chicago, and Northern Wisconsin has one each summer that we do, and so we try and do that now.
Yeah.
So just not traveling as much.
Yeah. Also, it makes more sense too, because that way people are going to be at those shows.
Yeah, you don't have to play Tuesday night in Fort Wayne, Indiana, because that's what's available.
Right. Yeah.
So, but Fort Wayne is great to play. I mean, I play Fort Wayne any day of the week, but just playing on Mondays and Tuesdays and things like that.
Just doesn't cut it, especially nowadays. I mean, when I was looking up some info about your band, and so you have I think your first album is 35 years this month.
Yeah, it's 35 years. Coming up next week. Yeah, it came out the same day as Bonded by Blood and a couple other Combat releases. Venom, Possessed. We were all released on the same day that year, 35 years ago.
No, not too.
The copy of Possessed I have, the Combat flyer mentions Rise of the Mutants on the bottom. It's got a pic. It shows a bunch of the releases and Impalers at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think right underneath of Bonded by Blood, actually.
Yeah, we all came around. I think important out in New York. They were the distributor. They were the mothership for Combat and IRD, which was the first label that we put out Rise of the Mutants on. They also, I think, released Slayer, Hell Awaits, I think, on the same day too, because they distributed all the bands. They distributed Megaforce and Metal Blade and any other metal label at that time, and alternative labels too. But they were a huge distribution, and that's why our records got into places like malls. We were in it seems nowadays our releases are more geared towards metal shops, punk and metal shops. But back then, having that distribution through Important was huge because all the malls and everything, carried their product. So Impaler was sneaking into the malls there too, so corrupting the youth of America.
Yeah, man. Well, and that's why I always loved the fact that you called it shock rock too, because I was really into Alice Cooper and those 70s bands because my dad was into that type of stuff and the new wave of British heavy metal and all. So when I first heard Rise of the Mutants, I was like, this is great. It's like somebody turned Iggy and the Stooges into a metal band.
Yeah, well, that's a huge compliment. Happy birthday, Iggy.
Yes, happy birthday, Iggy. He turned 75.
Wow.
Still kicks ass on people that are half his age,
Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah. Such a vibrant performer.
Absolutely.
God, I didn't know he was that old already. Wow.
All those guys are getting up there.
Yeah.
When I heard you do the Raw Power cover on If We Had Brains the first time, I went nuts, though. I thought that was the coolest thing in the world.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, we had to pay homage to the Stooges. I mean, the Stooges and the MC5 bands like that had kind of not been, I don't want to say been forgotten. That's a bad way to frame it, but just make people of the new generation aware of those bands that kicked so much ass in 1969 and 1970. So they were definitely huge influences as we were forming and starting to record, and wanted to inject that into our releases. So, if you don't hear it in the sound, then we made it obvious by playing one of the Stooges songs. So,
all right, and that was Bill Lindsay from Impaler. Here's a podcast that I did. I'm still kind of doing. I don't know what's going on. The Timo Tolkki podcast. It's been a while since I talked to him. Some shit's been going on, and I don't know. I haven't really talked to him about it, and I want to, but we'll see what happens. But this episode that we did, what?
Don't you have to send him $200 first?
No, I don't. No, it's 3.
Oh, 3. Excuse me. He doesn't
Anyway,
work that cheap.
Anyway, this episode that we did was really cool. He started to invite some guests on the show, and the first one that he invited on was Jörg Michael, the old drummer from Stratovarius. And they had a lot of really cool stories to tell with each other, especially Jörg just had so much shit to tell. So, because he's been in fucking music even way before Stratovarius. He was in Rage. He was in, what other shit was he in? Not Destruction. What was the other band that Schmier had?
Headhunter.
Headhunter. Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
He was in Headhunter. Yeah. So many other bands.
Bizarre Gardening Accident. That's a really good album by them that he's on. I think it would be their first one or second. I can't remember now. Been a long time since I listened to Headhunter.
Mm. Yeah. Oh, and he was also in Gravedigger too for a little while too. But he's been in so many freaking bands. But so on this little clip, he talks little stories about the Stratovarius, and we will be right back.
I was tour managing a Swedish rocker Semaphore. What was a very nice experience for me and for the band, of course, as well. Because first time in their life they had a proper tour manager. But then all of a sudden, Timo gave me like a call or a shout or a WhatsApp. Can't remember that he will be there. And also, then the Hammerfall guys told me that Timo has supported them with some Colombian fake Stratovarius people to play Stratovarius songs in front of their shows in South America. Is that correct, Timo?
Yes, it's correct.
Yeah.
Last September, yeah.
Yeah, it's not so long ago, exactly. And this is the last time we saw. And before that, we saw in maybe the beginning of last year in Nostori Klubi in Helsinki, where I visit the band.
Exactly. There's the famous
Because I'm still friends with Jens, Timo, and the other guys. I'm still the manager of Stratovarius.
Okay. He is.
I'm also the agent. And so we had some talks. And then because they played Helsinki, so they asked me to come around. And it would be nice for the fans if I would play a little bit. And I they gave me the opportunity to play Kiss of Judas.
Yeah.
What I was not happy with to play at all, but
what would you have rather picked?
for one song, I still can do it a little bit. But yeah, it was like a super time. And then Timo came down with his wife, Dominika. And I think that was, maybe February last year or something, or May, I can't remember. Before that, we haven't seen since 2006 or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, how did you take what, Timo?
I think 2008, that's when I left.
Oh, sorry, 2008. Yeah, I mean, 2006, 2008. It's like light years ago. It's yeah, but you are true. We were like still touring until 2007.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we left at 2008. It might be true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry that I mixed this up here.
We did a tour in the States in 2006.
Yeah, and we were touring together in 2007. Already, still South America.
Yes. Exactly.
It was also a time when you already lost it completely.
Come on. It happened, man. What can I say?
No, you don't have to say anything. I'm happy that we made freedom again.
Yes.
We made peace, you and me.
Oh, yeah.
And you have been, and this is what I tell everybody. I have a long history of playing in different bands with different band leaders.
Yeah.
But when he was at the peak of his abilities, the best band leader, best songwriter, best producer was Timo Tolkki in my life, which I have worked with. And I'm not saying this because there have been different times. It was not exactly that I wanted to kill this guy. It was not that far, but it was close.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It was close.
No, but I'm not exactly a stupid guy. I'm most of the times drunk. Okay, that is not a crime. But on the other side, sometimes I also think.
Right.
And I don't want anybody in this whole world go through what Timo has to went through.
Right.
This is what you need to know to understand the whole story. And being here, I don't have to make an interview with Wayne or New York or whatever. I do this as a favor to my newfound friend Timo. This is basically the truth about it. And I'm happy to see him again, even it's only a video.
Yeah.
So, Timo Tolkki.
El Tolkki.
Yeah, it's Italian. I think you are in Mexico, right?
Yes, in Monterrey.
Yeah, you are in Mexico.
We played here. We played here.
But it's like also like I have fun doing this here, and it's nice to remind me of things I normally don't think about it. I have a different life now. I choose not to be a drummer anymore, and I have also like a couple of children I have to take care about, and blah blah blah. But this is basically the story behind this. But of course, there was some time when it was not fun anymore. Yes.
He's a happily married man with about 2 kids.
All right, we're back. Again, I had another interview on the Timo Tolkki podcast, and he invited his...
Timmy Tolkki podcast. Timmy Tolkki. Timmy.
I make one mistake. One mistake.
And the lords of the world. Yeah.
terrible. It's terrible what you guys do to me. The Timo Tolkki podcast. He invited his old bassist Yari. I cannot pronounce his new name. I'm not doing it.
You can't pronounce
Yari,
English
fair
words.
enough.
Don't even
Yeah,
try.
exactly. So I'm not going to even try to pronounce it. But go check out that interview. Again, he's telling some more funny stories about some bad times that he had in Stradivarius and in some good times too. But this was a very cool interview. So we'll be right back.
It's a fucking cool band, though. Rammstein.
Jörg Michael told me this. After the episode, I told the guys I start composing the next album. So Jörg thought I went to some cabin in the forest, which I didn't. I was at home. So in 1.5 days, I sent text messages. The album is ready.
Okay.
So the Visions is composed in 1.5 days.
Yeah.
Whole album. I was so motivated, and then I said to Timo, "Come to my home," and we sang the demos. Because you always have to do that.
Yeah.
Why you are like halfway in the picture? What the fuck, Tim?
I don't know.
What do I have?
Now he's in a breeding machine in the hospital.
Am I half?
He's got an IV hooked up to him. Maybe he's got COVID. He's in the hospital.
Yeah. I'm in the hospital, yeah.
This is Timo Tolkki's last days.
This is the end. This is the end. Pray for me.
This is the end, beautiful friend. This is the end, my only friend. The end.
Hey.
This is the end. No.
Timpa. Do you remember we were on a, was it like maybe 96 or something? We were in Japan, and we were walking on streets, and there was these streets players.
Yeah.
And hey, can you play for me Dust in the Wind or something? Then they start to play, and then you walked away.
Did I? Why?
Really, I don't know, really douchebag, like, unbelievable. We were watching with Jörg, like, what the fuck he's doing?
Yeah. So those were the funny tours.
First asking to the song and then walking away. It's strange.
What was the worst time you had in Stradivarius, Yari?
Me?
Yeah. We know Timo stuff.
I know exactly. When we were shooting Maniac dance video.
Oh, really? Why is that?
First of all, our dog got a little bit sick, like just nothing dangerous, but everything was so fucking strange. Like I got so pissed about the Tolkki. I invited. We had this releasing party or some kind of party at the really fancy restaurant. Yeah, in Helsinki, like a really fucking fancy.
Yeah.
And I invited my wife, of course, there.
Yeah.
And what the fuck? Yeah. But it's fucking natural. And he said, you can invite her. In the middle of the fucking video shooting.
Why?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
And in the same time he met some fucking bum douchebag from the street. I don't know who it was. He invited that guy in a party.
Did I?
Jesus, come on.
Sorry.
And we left from the video shooting. I was so angry. We had a great fucking bus from the video shooting to the hotel room. I said to Tolkki, that's it now. You can fuck off. And the next night I called him, I leave the band. So
Yeah.
that was a story. So
Yeah.
that was my worst time in a Stradivarius ever.
Really? What was
And
your best?
everything else than that.
Everything else was even the
much.
hunting high and low video where you were drenched with rain and you got your instruments all destroyed.
No, that was cool.
Yeah.
I didn't have my own.
Oh, you
instruments
weren't
there,
too
so-
bad. Yeah, all right. But Georg Michael
I
got
like-
the
I
worst
liked
of the water, I guess.
Yeah, but I didn't have my own bassist there, so it's.
No.
I got it from Levitukku.
Oh yeah.
But
Cool.
everything else than that. Oh,
Yeah.
Hestvik and everything fucking beautiful. Like,
Yeah.
but that was some kind of strange moment in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know that, Timo. So
Yes, I
It
know.
was the interview with Yari from Stradivarius. And actually, Yari was supposed to be on the new Timo Tolkki album, Infinite Visions, and shit happened with that, and he is no longer involved. So I'd like to find out what the hell happened, but we'll see. I don't know if Timo Tolkki's ever coming back or not. I don't know. Maybe one day. But going on with the show, Angel Cote from the band Them and Demolition Hammer has been a guest quite a few times, and he joined us on an Album versus Album show, and it was for Death. It was 2 Death albums, right?
That was a fun show.
Yeah, Leprosy and Symbolic.
Yeah, that was it. And really cool. In the middle of the show, he decides to get up and go grab a CD. And he comes back, and he has a Death CD with him. And he opens up the case on the inside, and there's a little surprise. I don't want to give it away in case you haven't seen it, but go check it out. And it was funny because at first he brings back a Men at Work CD for like no reason, but then he shows us like the real thing and what he meant to bring back, and it was pretty cool to see. So go check that out.
Those fucking Metal Mind remasters,
Oh,
limited
sir.
edition. They're probably like $50-$40 now too.
We're talking about Strapato by Slaughter. Because Chuck
Great.
produced that.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, produced it, wrote a couple of the songs. He wrote Fuck a Death, actually. That was originally supposed to be a Death song, but he thought the lyrics were silly.
What was that? Did you guys talk about Voodoo?
Lyrics are too silly, but Scream Bloody Gore's lyrics exist.
Did you guys talk about Voodoo Death Cult?
Mm-mm. No.
That was that short-lived band Chuck did where he just played guitar on.
Sounds familiar. I think I've heard of that. All right, what'd you go get?
I know I've heard it before.
What's the longest second?
Here we go, guys. I took forever to find this.
Just act totally unimpressed.
What about it?
Oh. So
Men at Work.
So we got this
Good
fucking
one.
thing here, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's beautiful. Do you have to dig through your couch cushions? Like, holy shit. dude.
I just have a fucking shitload of stuff. How the fuck do I reverse? Oh.
Reverse what?
Oh,
dude!
Wow.
That's
okay.
cool.
Yeah, that was worth the wait. Holy
Hell
shit!
yeah.
There you go. I
mean,
figure we're
don't
talking about
edit
the
out
record.
the wait,
I
so it'll
gotta.
be worth it for everybody else.
I was like, I'm taking so long that I have to come back with this thing now.
That's amazing.
Absolutely amazing.
And where'd you get that?
Oh, it's like he signed it for me.
Yeah, but where did he sign it?
No, he came to my house for dinner one time. No,
Your
this was
son
at
read that
the-
and scribbled
that
on
time
it.
Anthrax
I made
would destroy your
meatloaf. It
house.
was really quaint.
Yeah.
Or at least that's how Chuck
listen,
described it.
Chuck, I heard you're a good cook. Come over to my house. Let me fuck you up real quick. No, it's at that the Sound of Perseverance tour, Hammerfall.
Oh, all right. So I got to meet him.
So I got to meet him, and I brought that. And I actually have Sound of Perseverance signed by the whole band.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Dude, that's cool.
Do you have it insured?
Yeah.
No, I mean it's sitting there in the same fucking stack this shit was in, along with
Oh
Man at
my
Work.
god.
I mean, I was originally gonna bring back the Best of Yanni.
But But you bring back the Men at Work.
Oh my God! It's
Well,
sitting
he's
in
the
the same
messiah
pile,
of
folks. It's
music.
sitting in the
I actually
same.
kind of
It's
like
sitting in the same
Men at
pile.
Work, but
I mean, dude, I don't listen to these anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't listen to CDs.
Yeah,
Well,
no, I'm.
I'll
I'm
give you
saying,
my
like,
address and you can send me that.
yeah,
Okay.
we'll keep it
All
safe
right.
for you. We'll keep
I'll
it
put
safe
it back
for
here. Were they
You
under
put it-
death, right? I'll put it under. I'm over here somewhere in D.
Yeah, so when you have some other host up, you're like talking about death.
Yeah.
You pull up this
Yeah.
album.
Oh
like,
yeah,
I met Chuck.
Yeah.
It fucking sucks. I don't like the album, but it's signed by him.
Here's this priceless artifact I have.
I don't give a shit about it. Look, somebody scribbled on it. Who cares, right?
Some jerk off.
It matters if they're
that's what I
dead,
have
Wayne.
to say about
I mean,
that.
you know, I wonder what
It matters if they're dead.
I wonder what the value.
No, it's cool. It's got to be worth a lot
This
of
is-
fucking money.
Oh yeah,
Dude, just hang on.
First of all, it's
yeah. Greg probably
it's
has
an
the
original
resources to
press.
find the value of that.
Yeah, if it's an original press, that's going to be worth something there. And then with Chuck signed it, forget it.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I'm talking
the-
about. You might want to actually insure
It's the
that.
fucking combat version.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might actually want to insure that, dude. That's probably worth a lot of money.
Although you laid off, so you might want to sell it and make some money.
No, I'm saying if you wanted to sell it at a later date. Hell, someone might try to steal that now that it's like
You could-
out in public.
You could buy that electronic drum set that you've always wanted.
Yeah, you could. No, it's probably yeah.
Yeah. Hey, let's put it on eBay and let's find out.
Well, that's Dark Star. That's different. But
The fuck?
Men at Work.
this one here,
They came back with another Men at Work album.
the first American press on Combat, which, by the way, was originally purchased on October 30th, 1987, for $350 from the Loch Ness Monster. But I've seen this fucker go for $200 on eBay.
What's $200?
The record.
Scream Bloody Gore on Combat.
He's
Just
that's
that.
he's got the combat CD, and it's
Yeah,
signed.
I got the combat CD. So I don't even know because the back it just says combat on the back.
The CD's worth around $40 depending on what press it is, but you have to match it up by the matrix number.
But it's
for whatever
also signed by
reason,
Chuck Schuldiner.
Yeah, I mean signed. You're probably talking priceless.
Yeah, this is the Antiques Roadshow episode where we win.
Yeah, we
buying
got
a
that
house.
one. First British press of it.
I'm buying a house off this album.
Spiritual Healing picture disc.
Just for the hell of it, I would put it on eBay and put like a what do you call it? I forget how you call it.
Okay, it's time. Why are you buying a house off of it?
Because he's dead.
Because he's dead.
Yeah, I know he's dead, but I guess it's because it's worth
It's
a
the
lot.
first album signed by him.
Oh.
It's the
One of
first
the
pressing
one of the
first
one
album.
of the first CD pressings of the first record.
Hey, Angel, do me a favor. Let me see
You
the
would
disc
rather
real
live in a
quick.
hole
I'll be
than
able
sell
to
that.
tell you.
Oh,
real
wait
quick.
a minute, dude. So hold on a second. Now that we're talking,
Oh no! If I
It's got
started
disc
domestic,
rot. It's got disc rot.
so
oh no!
this.
Oh no!
Hold on. You ready? So look at the back there.
Mm-hmm.
So look at where the album titles end.
Yeah.
Scream Bloody Gore, just like you said.
Right.
On the CD,
Yep, that's the first press. Because there's no red highlights around the letters either, and it doesn't
Damn.
list the two songs on the back. So that is the very first CD press from '87, signed by Chuck. You lucky bastard!
That's Pawn
The
Stars
only
material,
cool thing
like.
about my CD is Scream Bloody Gore. It's
Okay.
got a
Come on,
bog
but
water
wait.
stain on it. You son of a bitch.
That was Angel Cote showing the Death album. What was that Death album? Do you remember?
I believe it was Leprosy.
It was Leprosy. All right. I don't remember. But yeah, it was signed by Chuck. So that's pretty cool. I mean, you know, you're not getting a signed CD by Chuck anymore.
I'm pretty sure it was Leprosy. Yeah.
Yeah, off the top of my head, I don't remember. I'm not a huge Death fan, but that show did make me.
I didn't happen to rewatch the whole thing.
That's all right.
before
I
we
don't
did
mind.
this. I'm gonna
That's
have
all
to
right.
now.
It's okay. But going along with the death metal type theme, we've had King Fally on a few times. This second time we had it on, and you got a DC show. Yep, my first introduction to them too. That was a cool album, and ever since then I have bought all the albums. And King Fally's a really cool guy. I talked to him, once in a blue moon, and actually he's been having auctions on his Facebook page.
Yes, he has.
Yeah. And I won. I just won Voivod, Dimension Hatros,
Oh, what a great album.
and there was something else. Oh, Hair Apparent CD.
Nice.
And then there was something else I won one of the other times, but I got Candlemass album, and so he's got a lot of really cool things on there. So you want to find some cool stuff? Man, he takes so many pictures of like the things that he owns, and he must have like a fucking museum in his house.
Oh, he totally does. The one that got me most recently was he took a picture of a small part of his Chew Bops collection, and I can't believe he has all those in the packages still.
What is this? A shoe bop?
Chew Bop.
Chew Bop?
C-H-U. Chew Bop.
What is a chew bop?
It was a little piece of bubble gum shaped like a record that came in a cardboard sleeve that mimicked the album sleeve.
Really? I've never heard
He
of that.
loves it. He thinks they're hilarious. He's got a whole collection of them.
He's got some weird shit, but go check him out, and go check out this little clip of the last time he was on. We had him on to talk about the tape trading. And once we got past that, we talked about the death of what was that producer, Birch? Martin Birch, yep. And then after that, we started talking about Kiss, and then we talked about the Kiss album, about the Man Battle Stations and all this shit. What the hell's the name of the album?
Torpedo Girl on
Yeah,
Unmasked.
Torpedo Girl. Yep, Unmasked. Yep. So that was pretty funny. So I got the little.
him to come on to talk about that for Screams from the Grave, but he couldn't. So Ralph and Lisa did instead. But he
Actually, just Lisa did it.
Oh, that's right. It was just Lisa. Yeah. But he made his opinions on the album pretty well known on this episode. So
Yeah, he did.
It worked out.
It did. So I saved that little clip because I thought it was pretty funny. So check this out. We'll be right back.
Freaking out. As you guys ever noticed, while we're talking about it, listen to that one part on Swinging the Chain. Do you notice that they actually edit the song and you could tell they like play the other part somewhere else and piece it together? When it goes to that, listen to it. Next time you listen to it, when it changes that last riff of the album, you can tell that it's a poor cut too. It's a poor fucking edit onto that, but you can tell they did not play that live together. It's definitely another take, and they just said, "Hey, add this to the ending here on this downbeat." It's not as bad an edit as fucking.
TIE Fighter.
It's not as bad as the edit as the beginning of Torpedo Girl on Unmasked, though. When they do that Man Battle Station torpedoes. Dude, that fucking, if you listen to it, that fucking, we'll just call it the sample, that fucking recording, they do not get the M from man. They fucking cut it. It goes, and Battle Station torpedoes. I don't like the song to begin with. That makes me laugh so hard because it's like you couldn't even get the pronunciation of the M, man. It's just, and Battle Station torpedoes. It comes in like, oops, I missed it. Oh, well, leave it. But anyway, yeah,
That
so
song
Swinging the
sucks.
Chain.
I hate that song.
I hate all the Ace Frehley songs on Unmasked.
I do too, man. I think the worst one is that Two Sides of the Coin. That one's ridiculously bad.
Oh, you don't like that song? I like that song.
I like
No.
I like Talk to Me. It's
Yeah, I like
definitely
Talk to
not
Me
his
too. That's
best, but that one's okay. But yeah, Two Sides of the Coin is garbage.
That's so bad.
All I need is the Paul. I just need the Paul songs, man. Easy as It Sings, Tomorrow, What Makes the World Go Around. Those three especially. Is That You is not their tune, but it's good. I don't mind Shandy and Naked City, man. And She's So European. I'd have been perfect. I do not like You're All That I Want, the last tune, and I do not like the Ace songs, or it would have been one of the greatest albums ever made. I love that. That might be my favorite. That might be my favorite Kiss record if it was an EP. I love Dynasty too, though, man. Dynasty's underrated, man. Dirty Little.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a bad song on Dynasty. I think every song.
Yes, there is, and it's Charisma.
I love it.
I like Charisma. I don't like 2000 Man. I don't like 2000 Man.
I love it. I love it.
My name is a number.
I hate the Stones version, but I love the Kiss cover.
I love
Sure knows something. Yeah, Magic Touch and Sure Knows Something. That's my favorite too.
Yeah, Magic.
And I really like Dirty Living, man. Makes me want to get on the floor and shake my ass, man. But it's good.
Dirty Living's my favorite off it, actually. I love that.
I love his voice, man. Dirty Living, Dirty Living. Woo! You ever hear like the 10-minute dance version? They do the 10-minute dance version on the other side of I Was Made for Loving You 12-inch. God, it's so long. Just keeps going. I can't wait any longer. 30-minute cocaine mix. Fuck yeah, I'm totally into it.
All right, that was King Fally on that episode, and go check that out because he had a lot of really cool stories about the tape trading, which that idea I got from some guy on Twitter. I mean, he was talking about he watched some documentaries on tape trading, and he wanted to hear some more stories from other people that were involved with tape trading. And I thought King Fally would have been a cool guy to have on, and he definitely was. So it was a very interesting episode. And one thing you did mention before we went to that clip, Greg, Screams from the Grave.
Oh, yes.
Yes, a brand new show that we started doing. It was your idea. And want to give a little synopsis about that show?
Well, we talk about, albums that have kind of been forgotten by time, whether they're considered good and just more obscure or not as well liked by the bands or certain fans, but loved by us. We highlight them and do a little mini review / episode about them. It's pretty fun, and it was all inspired by the Abattoir song. Abattoir. There, that's English. Hurrah!
See, I'm not the only one that messes up. But yeah, so check out this first clip that we have of the first episode of Screams from the Grave, and actually, Lisa Mann joined us on the Kiss Unmasked album.
Yeah, is Kiss Unmasked the first one we did, or did we
Kiss
do Anthrax first?
Did what?
I thought we did State of Euphoria first.
No, because we did that with Nate.
Oh, that's right, we did. Okay, never mind.
That was like the third one. So yeah, I'll go check out the first ever episode of Screams from the Grave with Lisa Mann, and we talk about Kiss Unmasked.
Such a great record. Go buy it. After
It
you
is.
watch the clip.
That's right.
Screams from the Grave.
So I said.
You said of.
I said Screams from the Grave.
You said of.
All right, Terry. Cool it with the semantics, E.B. White.
Why don't we put you in a grave?
He never said from.
No, I know.
I did too.
Huh?
I did too say from.
No, you didn't say
The,
from
the,
once.
the last time you did it, you did say of, but before that, you said from.
I'm changing the name of the show now to Screams of the Grave.
No. Then it doesn't whatever, just go watch the clip.
And I'm going to put Nate in a grave, and I'm going to see if we can hear him scream from the grave.
As we lower him down into that hole in the ground, his eyes, they bulge. My fingers, they bleed. It's happening to me, or is that just a dream?
All right, go check the clip.
Well, plus he managed to use conversation successfully in the lyrics.
Yeah.
Ace isn't exactly a wordsmith, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, no, I remember when we were talking with Ralph, and he was talking about that song Torpedo Girl. And in the beginning where it says manned battle stations, they cut off like the beginning of it.
You can hear the tape cut.
It's so bad. But Lisa, what's some of your favorite songs off this?
Oh gosh, let me see. Well, there's a few songs that, well, like you were both saying, a lot of it just doesn't sound like the Kiss that we knew and loved. But there's a few moments in there, and like "What Makes the World Go Round." That whole front end of that song sounds like early Kiss.
Yeah.
And it sounds like something that could be like on Dress to Kill or something, you know. And then, of course, there's different shit. There's like, what's this keyboard part in here, you know?
Yeah. But that part in the chorus where it like changes the tempo and the drums are doing that thing, whatever that's called.
Yeah.
That's really, I love that part.
Yeah, that's really well done. And then there was something else. I'm kind of took some.
That's probably my favorite song on here, actually.
Yeah, that chorus makes that song so good.
And You're All That I Want. That sounds like early Kiss to me. That really sounds like something that could be off of Dress to Kill or the first album or even Destroyer. You know, that song. It sounds.
It does.
Sounds like this.
But my whole
the
thing
licks.
about that song and why I'm not crazy about it though is I wish Peter sang it because I think he could have pulled it off better.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Mm.
probably. It's one of my least favorites off it too.
Yeah, I like that.
It's a weak ending.
I like that the bass is really present.
Me too.
And Gene plays his ass off on this record.
Yeah.
He sounds
He really
great,
does.
and you really hear him very clearly. You hear just even some string noise and everything. I like the production. It's very clean.
Yeah.
It's not greasy. It's very, very 80s. I almost see like a Nagel painting when I hear this album.
You mean like
know what I'm talking
this?
about. Yes, like that. Yes, like that.
That's Miss March 1981.
That's what that album sounds like. Is what
Yes,
that
it
looks
does.
Clean
That's
and
exactly what makes the world go round makes you think of is a picture like that.
That was Screams from the Grave. Pretty cool show. We only do that once a month, though. I don't want to do it every week.
Nah, it's more special if we do it once a month.
Once a month, so it's pretty cool. Good show.
Besides,
I like that show because it's
a lot
quick.
of good recent
Quick
stuff
show.
going on. I'm sorry.
What?
I said besides, there's been a lot of good recent stuff going on where doing too many of the Screams from the Grave would take away from that. But.
Exactly. Back to me doing more interviews. This is actually my last interview I did on my own show, since you guys were so lazy. during that
Whatever,
period
man.
of time. Zach Stevens from Sabotage. This one was really cool. What sucks is I was supposed to have an interview with him, and the interview started getting interrupted towards the end, and then we were supposed to have a second interview, a follow-up one, and he never contacted me back. So
that sucks.
It is what it is. I got what I got.
But that was one I wanted to do. I'm sure again I had to work or something. It's not like that night I got high and wandered off on the bus to buy 3 Pebbles with marshmallows because I saw it on TV. What show? I'm a Walmart man.
And what was fucking pissed me off about that is we just did a show earlier in that day.
Well, in between, I decided to partake and relax. And 3 Pebbles with marshmallows sounded fucking awesome.
But it was funny. It was.
That's why I was chomping fucking Crave that one episode. Crave is awesome when you're high.
Yep.
Crave is fucking great when you're high as shit.
But it did make me laugh, so it was funny. I forgive you. But anyway, here's the Zach Stevens interview, and we talk about Sabotage. And of course, everybody wants to know what the fuck is going on with Sabotage. And as you'll find out in this clip, he don't even know. So check it out.
What is going? And you know what? Just let's get this out of the way now. What's going on with Sabotage? Is that completely done?
Jeez, me and you right now. I doubt it. I mean, you can't say it's completely done. I mean, it's because we just don't know.
Right.
I mean, I've learned to say never in the music business. As soon as you would say never, somebody's going to hear that with influence and say, guess what? Just because you said that. So maybe we should just start saying this is absolutely done.
Why not?
But, no, I can't say that at all. And talking to the guys, even John, I mean, he's got all kind of songs written. He's just trying to get a green light. It's a business decision. You know, basically what happened when you've got TSO, this huge conglomerate, is basically the holding company of Sabotage. And that's what it has become business-wise. So I think it's just purely a business situation right now. You've got the people who are directly involved with John and the management of TSO kind of holding, they really are literally holding Sabotage. Now, whether they're going to hold it and go, you can be free and release the, what used to be a baby and is now like, it's almost like releasing the giant from under the tomb.
Right.
It happened. So I can't sit there really and and say, no, that's all history. That's shut down. When I know that we have the resources to spring that thing into action, like at any minute we might, get a call. So
Right.
I don't know. It's just a matter of business. I think it's like when you look at TSO, the management is the management of Savatage. So they're probably looking at TSO being the monster that it is, just the, phenomenon, #1 tour, Billboard of last year, most shows.
Yeah.
You can do 120 shows between two bands. That puts you 120 arena shows will put you at most arena shows.
Right.
I mean, they're doing it smart now. They're putting together tours, running out for a little while, doing it efficiently, making smart profits, taking a break, going back out. So they're not many. You don't see, Kiss has been doing it for a long time at the end of the road tour. But they still do it in segments. So it was kind of interesting. It's not like the old days where, bands would play something like 250 days a year.
Yeah.
Or Maiden in the early days doing, close to the entire year if he could possibly still hold up vocally, which he's done an amazing, job of. So, the touring thing has changed business-wise, but when you look at that and how successful it is, if they're going, hey, what can we do with this Savatage? We know it's mostly a European appeal. So if you're going to do big festival shows like we did back with 2015 when we put TSO and Savatage together at Wacken,
Right. Yeah.
20,000 people, that was fantastic. So, and that's really where I feel most at home is in front of crowds like that.
Yeah.
So that's what I would see the vision of it doing. So they just have to say, hey, it's okay that is going to be European festivals. Let's go out there, do it like that, plan a nice, stage, a nice production for that type of venue, and have the multimedia thing going with the screens, such as what we do in TSO, telling a story. There's lots of stories to be told. There's almost a rock theater character about putting a Savatage production out there now. We look at it in a whole different way just based on what we do with TSO. So that caused me, the guy in the band and also of the Savatage band, to say, wow, wouldn't it be neat to put that similar production, maybe not to that extent, but a similar production together where we have multimedia, we use the screens to help tell the stories of the songs, and maybe do it in a storytelling type of fashion, not with a narrator, with like TSO, but that's not necessary. But you could still play, introductions to some songs, almost Maiden-like.
Right.
Have
Yeah.
introduction to 3 or 4 specific featured numbers that have multiple vocals and, that need extra vocalists, like with the counterpoint stuff like Wake of Magellan, Not What You See, Chance, Hourglass, some of the songs that have those massive tracks of vocals going, that we became pretty, experts, I would say, that we gained the recording that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Use of science.
Right.
It's a lot of fun, but we would need extra singers. So I'm also seeing on those feature numbers, bringing out some of the people who sing with us in TSO. I mean, this is all free. Like I sit around and think of this. It's like I can't really think of, like I really, I don't know if it would happen or not, Savatage, but I still can't help but sit around and think about some of these things the way that I would imagine it, utilizing some of the tools that TSO has. There's a lot of stories, and the albums are still conceptual for the most part. Edge of Thorns is more non-conceptual, plain rock record, but almost everything after that has a lot of stories, and that was when Paul O'Neill was starting to get into writing the stories and having the stories, align with the songs on the record and having that main kind of storyline weaving through songs.
Yeah.
So, there's so much it's just so many things that more than I could even imagine that could be, done with the inspiration.
Right. Yeah, I thought when that whacking thing happened, I thought, oh man, they're going to be back, and things are going to
Yeah.
happen. But then it just died, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, we were like, I think we all, were thinking it was kind of the same thing. But then, what happened when Paul passed away, and
Right.
that was shocking, and still everybody's kind of reeling from that and adjusting, and having to adjust to running TSO by committee rather than having Paul. He touched everything. I mean, he basically had the final decision in every single phase. He was one of those leaders and managers that basically he delegated, but when it really came down to it, it didn't matter how big or small the decision was, he was making it.
Right. Yeah.
Now we're getting used to having it run by a 10-person committee of his daughter Ireland, who does a fantastic job for being so young, but she's like wildly intelligent with multiple degrees.
Yeah.
Coming out of high school, like really like accelerated, like unbelievable. I mean, mind-blowingly intelligent.
Wow.
One of the fast trackers, as I call it. You want to fast track you by the time you get out of high school, you've got a college degree, that type.
Yeah.
So not musical in background, but it doesn't matter. Very intelligent, and business-wise, that's what she's got. So she's one of the maybe 10 consisting of Night Castle Management and the music directors, Derek of the East and Al Petrelli, Sabotage guitarist, music direction of the West, and some talent coordination people. So I think everybody's doing a good job. And I think that's one of the main reasons that we didn't get to dive straight into, here's the reunion.
Right. Yeah.
Because the following year, boom, the least expected happens
Yeah.
with Paul's passing. So that was that's been the step back that we're going through. And I think that's, what you're knowing that is exactly what it is. Now the question is, will we be able to get beyond that and then let's get on with it?
Right. Yeah.
I think there is like a shelf life. It's probably not as short as I would say as a member of the band. We would say like, oh man, a year or two from now, you can't do this. It's going to be the expiration date. It's like old milk. Oh no, my half and half expired 2 months ago. I'm not putting it in my coffee. I don't want it to hit an expiration date and have the show and be like, no, this isn't doable, because guess what? Our fan base is now 72 years old. It's already not the youngest fan base.
Right. Yeah.
Talk about a fan base consisting mostly of people my age. So I can tell you for sure.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's where it's at. But I also know that we're still considered young as far as anything I've received from AARP or any of those publications. They say, don't worry about it. You're still sort of young. When I was out on tour, I beg to differ, because I'm like, oh man, I definitely don't feel like I did in my 20s. But no, that's basically where it's at. I mean, it's just so like a business. Sabotage is in a unique position in the business, because we now find ourselves a subsidiary company, a small company of the conglomerate of TSO, which is so busy, and all the members play in TSO. So it's like, it makes it more difficult to just go, hey, can't you just come back out with that and get that record out? Yeah, I would like that, but obviously not as easily, done as said. But I'm still not going to stop dreaming of the production that I see and the potential that we can see with it. So I'm hoping for the best.
Yeah, me too. Because all my friends, even the guys I went to high school with and everything, we all loved Sabotage, and it's just, we would go on to shows and stuff and listen to Sabotage on the way, and just what you guys did was great back in the day. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And to not have you guys around anymore, it just sucks. I mean, you got your own bands. You have Circle to Circle, and all the other stuff. Yeah, that's a very good one.
All right, that was my interview with Zach Stevens. Greg?
Yes.
An old friend from the show. Actually, he did the show with us for quite a while, probably about like 6 months, I guess, until he had to go back on tour. Mr. Troy Knorr came back.
Yes, yes, he did.
Actually, I think he was back once before too, but just for an Al versus Al. But now he came back to talk about his new album, from his band Them.
Yep. And I think, wasn't Naya with him too?
Naya's always with him.
Yeah.
It's his dog.
Yeah, no, I know that, but she wasn't always running through. But anyway.
Yeah, but she's not in this clip. But anyway, the new Them album, Return to Hemmersmore. I still haven't gotten it. I'm freaking so pissed off that I have not received the album. And actually, I ordered from Amazon, and I ordered the vinyl and the CD. And I got an email a few weeks ago saying that the vinyl is just not coming. So I got refunded.
Yeah, I got that too. The other one I haven't received yet, but is supposedly still in transit, is my Blue Oyster Cult vinyl.
Oh, really? Which one?
I got the green colored one, and at first it just sounded like the distributor didn't have them yet, which I kind of expected because they pre-sold. But I know it got shipped 2 weeks ago, but everything's really weird, I guess, with package delivery in the holidays. Because even though it's being sent from inside the United States, it went from like North Carolina to friggin' San Francisco, California, and now it's in Louisiana.
Yeah. Well, if they send it, they probably send it media mail. And once they send it media mail, it goes where it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, I see this.
Yeah. Actually, I got that.
I got something from Canada a little while ago, and it's funny because it came out of Calgary too, and Minneapolis has a big international mail hub, so I just didn't understand why it didn't come right here. Like, I could have driven to Canada and gotten it fast instead of them sending it to Staten Island and then Miami and Phoenix for some fucking reason, and then back to Minneapolis.
It's so stupid. I don't know who figures that shit out. They're wasting so much gas and time. It's dumb. But I got that vinyl, the green one.
Yeah.
I was able to grab one of the pre-orders, so that was cool. I was afraid they were going to sell out.
It's just when at this point, because it did get sent now.
Yeah. Well, let that be a lesson. Don't ever order anything during the holiday season.
Yep.
I'm still waiting on a phone that I ordered. I'm still waiting on a phone that I ordered back in by Thanksgiving, Black Friday.
Oh.
Never showed up. Anyway, we're off topic now, but go check out Troy Knorr. He makes his appearance back on Rat Salad Review. A very good friend of the show, and we'll be right back.
A great guy.
He is a good guy.
Welcome to Rat Salad Review. Hey, who the hell are you?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, it's Troy Knorr.
Troy
Welcome
Knorr.
back.
Oh, damn it. I think I went back in time again.
You're fine. You went back into Greg went back in time. Greg
Went
looks
back
younger
into
than the
time.
last time I saw him.
You haven't been on the show in like a year.
I know. I've been
You
busy.
just ghosted us.
I didn't ghost you.
You ghosted us. You just up
Shut
and left.
up. That is not true.
Said I'll be back next week, and he was gone.
Oh, you just not be.
But you're back now, and this week we're going to review a band called Them.
Oh,
Have you have you listened to the new album yet?
they look pretty. I don't know, weird looking.
This
Especially
guy-
this guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
that guy right
really
there.
weird. He's real weird. And this guy here, he's kind of funny. He's been on the show a few times.
That guy's very funny, actually.
Yeah, he's very funny.
Yeah, he is. But that guy with
he's very weird. But
the bloody cross on his face, that guy.
Yeah,
I don't
that
know,
guy.
what is he supposed to be? Like an evil Willy Wonka?
I think like a tree elf or something.
Tree elf? He might be.
Evil Willy Wonka. Yeah, I can kind
Evil
of see it.
Willy Wonka.
I hear he
I've
does.
heard that.
He makes good mac and cheese, though. I do know that.
Yes, he does.
Got a good mac and cheese recipe.
Damn straight about that. I'll drink to that.
You have to use human fat to grease the pan. That's the
Ooh.
secret.
Oh man.
Cooking with KK.
Well, welcome, Troy.
Yes, welcome
Should I
back.
call KK? Because I have nothing to do with this.
We actually wanted him on the show, so
KK, come here.
you just showed up.
What, you want me to? You want me to do it? All right, I'll do it. He wants me to do this thing.
No, we'll
Thingy.
blame
Get it right here. Fuck you too. Just said fuck me.
He's a man that values his privacy.
He's very quiet too. I don't hear him at all.
He's sitting there.
That's ignorant.
He's ignorant. He's ignorant.
All right. So, Mr. Troy, a.k.a. KK Foster.
We'll leave that for now. But go ahead.
Way to spoil the secret, ass.
It says it inside the album. I mean, come on.
Which album?
All of them.
No, the second one doesn't have.
Yeah, it doesn't say it in Manor. It says
Is it
says
that
it
other
in
one
Sleepy.
too, right, KK? I know. Yeah, just have to.
Regardless, everyone knows who you are.
Yeah, you're wrong.
Yeah.
I'll think
We have a new album coming out soon, right?
We do.
Well, you do.
Yeah, Return to Hemsmore.
What in the hell is Hemsmore?
Well, it's a town. It's a town in European region. Outside, it's like within the Germany, I think Austria area. Small town, and that's where the whole story started back in Sweet Hollow.
Yep.
Ends there.
And it
Or
starts
does-
there,
does it?
ends there.
Or does it? I don't know. Does it end there, KK? Oh, yeah, it does. Doesn't? I don't know. He doesn't know. He's
I'm
confused.
I'm pretty positive at the very least they don't have a water tower anymore.
They definitely don't have a water tower. Yeah, I think Remsen knocked that one down.
Oh my god! Speaking of Remsen, Remsen's all over this. album.
Great.
Yes.
That part of the story, the sound effects, Remsen's voice, that was just perfect.
Yeah, he did a very good job on his album. I was very entertained in the beginning of the album when he's like, talking to you, and at the end, very exciting stuff happening on this album.
There was a lot of stuff with him on this album for sure. Because if you look at the whole, like if you look at the album as an album, I mean, or each one of them, they can sustain on their own.
Yeah.
But when you put them all together, it's literally one continuous story, and that was the vision from the beginning.
Okay. All right, that was Troy Noir making his appearance back on the show, and we hope to get him back.
Different.
Yeah, Al Ravage from the band Ravage. He made an appearance on the show. Another very cool guest. I want to have him back on again to do the King Diamond show, but he has a new EP coming out very soon with his band Ravage. Actually, it should be out already.
Yeah,
I don't
think
know.
so.
Yeah, it might be out already. But go to Ravage, look up Ravage on Facebook or Al Ravage, and you'll find him on Facebook, and you can see all the stuff about the new EP. So it's very cool. And it goes towards a charity as well. So, but on this particular clip, we talk about the album artwork for one of the albums and some very cool things that they have in there that actually some of the artwork is actually for some of the titles of the song. So he gives a little description of what they're about. And some of them are kind of funny. So go check that out in this clip and we'll be right back.
Artwork there.
And so did he do it based on a theme you gave him or just from listening to the music?
Yeah, he did not hear the music in advance. We sent him some copies afterwards, but and we sent him some vinyls and some shirts because we use his artwork for the shirts. But pretty much, I gave him a concept, and the concept, if you look at the album, especially if you look at the vinyl art, you're going to see stuff that pertains to a lot of the songs on it. So there's fire in the background because there's a song called "Damage" about an asteroid hitting, and then you get. If you look in the there's almost like a million Easter eggs in it for every song.
Really?
In the lower right-hand corner, there's a little skeleton hand coming out of the ooze.
Yep, right there.
Holding an alarm clock. So that's for the song "Wake the Dead."
That's awesome.
Fucking old people on the motorcycle.
Really cool.
And then, the title song "Spectral Riders," a spectral sort of Batman type guy on a motorcycle, and you got that.
Nice.
You get the spider vibe. We try to put a spider on every album cover. That's built into the bike. So there's a lot of good stuff in there if you just pour it over.
Oh wow, very cool. What's the girl? I didn't notice this before. What's the girl inside the castle?
Oh, that's because we have to have an ass on every cover.
It probably won't show up, but there, she's right there.
Yeah, there's a girl with a sword.
The sorceress.
I don't know. I think he just put that in himself. But it just kind of gets into a theme. Like if you go to our very first demo, which was called Curse of Heaven, which we put out, it had this weird like cherub angel kind of thing. And the artist we were using at that time, for some reason, they liked butts, I think, because the angel on the back had kind of like a weird face and a butt. And then there was this this alien guy in front of like a church with these zombies coming out, but he's turned away from your point of view so you can see his butt. So that I think that was just an homage to the butts we used to have.
You just start putting man ass on there in protest.
Oh, this time we got a girl on.
All right, we're back. That was Al Ravage. Greg, we started another new show. Well, we haven't really done it too often, but we do have to do some more of them. The Rat Salad Review Theater.
Oh, that's right. Oh, God. Yeah. Well, I haven't been willing to do one since, I mean, I do want to do it again, but I was pretty pissed off after the whole StreamYard incident with that damn Penny Margolis video. That didn't work out too well. Sticked around with that with you guys for an hour and a half before I said, the hell with this.
Yeah.
I feel really stupid. I'm going to get high and listen to Diamond Head. My safe space.
Yeah, we'll never use StreamYard again.
There should be Samurai Cop.
We'll never use StreamYard.
Hold his head, put on this piano.
Actually, Nate, you should join us on the Red Salad Review Theater one time.
I love Science Theater, so I'd probably do it.
Yeah, so it's
pretty fun. Oh, it's like Beavis and Butthead?
Yeah,
basically. Yeah, kind of. I guess a little bit. Not as good, but we try. It's getting there. You know, we need a few more tries at it.
Just because you look like Mike Judge doesn't mean you're as funny as Mike Judge.
Check out these few
That
clips
boy
from
ain't right. That boy. Oh my God, if we had a King of the Hill podcast, we could call it Boah!
So it's in that show I really like, though.
I love that show. But anyway, here's a few clips from each of the episodes that we did.
Quarterbacks, man.
Oh, that's good too.
So rude. I'm trying to introduce the clip. Here's a few.
You want to make this your permanent job? Firing Rodriguez? Sure. Hey, Rodriguez. No.
My favorite one.
Anyway.
Yeah. Where Snoop Dogg's the white pimp.
Yeah.
That's.
You done
anyway,
now?
Continue, Wayne. I am the Mac Daddy of Heimlich County.
Anyway, here's a few clips from the Rat Salad Review Theater show, and actually, Beyond Bushido joined us on the last 3 episodes that we did.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. So we'll be right back.
See, people try to take his soul away. I don't know how you not think this is catchy.
I could be Daryl Hall or Rick Astley, and no one would be able to tell. This is the music your mom listens to at the mall. Picking out khakis where the crotch is much too small.
Well, we get that in this video too. He gets a little higher.
You know, it's funny you guys should bring up this band because that guy looks like I took my yoga lessons from him.
I don't think you did.
And placed him behind the kid. Yeah.
Yes, they grabbed the only punk rock cholo who was skateboarding on that track, and they were like, "Hey, come on, buddy, be in our video."
Yeah, I just thought they decided like this looks like a really cool spot in industrial Los Angeles. We're gonna do it here, not realizing it's a fucking park on the other side of that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's some lovemaking music right there.
I guess you wonder where I've been.
No, I did. I did wonder where he was. Is that him right there?
Those soothing sounds go straight to a woman's fallopian tubes, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's a homeless man. Now, can she hear him?
Can we just all take a moment to appreciate the fact he's hanging outside of a 16-year-old girl's window?
And calling
and the
her on the
fact that
payphone?
I was positive this song was sung by a black man originally.
He's got ice cream.
It literally looks like he just had someone tape him while he goes and does his errands around Florida or wherever that is.
Well, they could have possibly like saw people like randomly walking on the street. Here, take my phone. I need to make a video.
That was Rat Salad Review Theater. Some cool stuff, and I hope to do it again, Greg. Don't ruin it.
Yeah, me too. And actually, I've been friends with him on Facebook for a while, and I've talked to him a few times. But you guys and our fans would probably be more familiar with him as the Exalted Pile Driver. But I noticed Gord, which is his real name, is really heavily into Frank Zappa, and I was thinking about talking to him and maybe trying to bring back my Frogs with Dirty Little Lips.
Oh,
See
yeah.
if he'd get in on it, because I mean you're like there, but you don't like it or have ever listened to most of it, so you're just like, yeah.
Yeah. I was going to include the Frogs with Dirty Little Lips on this episode, but we didn't really talk about much. And yeah.
No, that was off the cuff, and I plan to redo it, but
Yeah, so no, that would be better. If you did that show with somebody else, it would be so much better. I can't
I
do
just
that.
didn't know he was such a big fan, but yeah, I'm gonna ask him
Yeah,
soon here.
that'd be very cool.
Another guy that loves him is Paul Gaskin, who I just interviewed, but he doesn't have a whole lot of free time on his hands, and he's in Britain, unfortunately, so our times don't always line up. But that's a cool interview. You guys should check out.
Yes, and I guess now since you just lead it into that, I was going to leave that for the end. We'll just go into Paul Gaskin and Greg doing an interview. And Greg, you've been asking for Paul Gaskin to come on the show for like 2 years, since day one.
I know. Well, you know, he went through some problems with some sickness and wasn't able to, and he's kind of going back and forth, but he's doing a lot better now. So I was finally able to do it, and I was like, yes, I want to get this done, and I want to get it done now.
Yeah.
And then we'll get a review of the album at some point coming up
At
here.
some point, yeah. Actually, maybe that'll be our first real show back. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, here's I tried to pick out something from the show. I really didn't know what you would want me to pick, but I picked a part where he was talking about being a Wacken festival.
Cool.
So
And then yeah, that's a good part of it. And then just as a funny clip that unfortunately nobody will ever get to see because of what I forgot to do. But yeah, this interview ended up being a lot longer than we planned it. One, because he and I were having such a good time, but two, because originally I started it, got 5 minutes in and said, fuck me, I didn't press record. Once we stopped laughing about that, we started over.
Hey, it happens to the best of us. I used to do that.
Curse of Rat Salad Review.
It is. I remember when we first started the show, I'd forget to hit record all the time. And even when we did live, I think I forgot to hit the live button a few times. Yeah.
People typing to us, there's nothing there.
Yeah, it took a while. We're still learning. But yeah, go check out Greg's really good interview with Paul Gaskin. And I'm glad you finally got to do it, Greg.
Yeah, me too. Good band. Good guy.
All right, go check that out. We'll be right back.
It's a pretty big festival out in Germany. Yeah, okay. Well, I've got you on with another 5 Nwaboham bands to do a special out there in the August. So that's when I put the band together. Andy Solomon, Dave picked, because Dave Norman couldn't do it. He was gigging at the time. And Tony Ilkew. And we spent 6 months rehearsing, went out and did it. Absolutely amazing. I'd done festivals in my time, but never anything on that size. I mean, it's huge, man. If you've ever seen any bands playing at Wacken, you'll know what I mean. And
I've seen videos,
yeah, it's awesome, really awesome. That was a fantastic weekend. And it was pretty good fun with the other guys as well, because we're all in a bus together, you know. There was Angel Witch, Samson, Grim Reaper, I think, Praying Mantis, and Savage, and us.
Wow, that's a nice lineup.
Yeah, it was pretty good. So I made some good friends that weekend, especially Paul Sampson. Me and him were quite close for a while. In fact, I went through a bit of a bad time a couple of years later where I'd stopped getting in touch with him. My marriage was breaking up, and it was the beginning of the Age of Madness. And I was in a pub one night on my own because a friend of mine was doing a solo set. And he came over after he'd finished his first set, sat down with me. He said, "I'm sorry to hear about your friend." I said, "What friend?" He said, "Paul Sampson." I said, "Why? What about him?" And he told me he died. That didn't help my mood at the time, I've got to admit. And it was so sad. Yeah, cancer. I knew there was something wrong because a couple of years before that, he got another band called Metallic Blue, which is basically a blues band. And I said, "Oh, you have to come up and I'll arrange a gig for you in town and I'll put a scratch band together and support you." "Oh, that'd be great." So we did that, and we just did some blues classics.
Well, that's
and then
really cool.
We had a bit of a jam at the end of his set. He invited me on stage. I've got one photograph of the pair of us together, and I treasure that. I said, "What are we doing?" He said, "Just something in A, just follow me." Okay. And he kicked it off. And at one point, I made the mistake of going to the left to his side of the stage, and I nearly had my ears blown off. He was so loud, unbelievable. But yeah, a lot of friendships were made that weekend. It was fantastic. So we did that Wacken thing, and the album did rather well, and never stopped since. We just kept getting different things offered. Well, there was a hiccup, obviously. 2 years later, my marriage broke up, and I went through a bit of a bad time, and nobody could get in touch with me. Jess couldn't find me, didn't know where I was. But when I did start putting the feelers out again, he put me on a few more festivals in Germany and places like that, and we just kept doing bits of gigs here and there ever since. And then latterly, Dave Norman and I got back together again and started doing some shows, anniversary shows. I think the first one was the 25th anniversary, and we put a band together for that.
Oh, cool.
Again, there was something wrong with my throat at the time, so we asked a guy called Andy Wood to sing for us. I've got to admit, I love it when I've got a singer because I can just concentrate on the guitar, doing maybe a few backing vocals, but it's nice not to have to think about doing both at the same time. It really is. You got a certain freedom. And then we did that, and then he started building a studio in his house. And so he said, "Why don't we do a new album?" And I said, "Well, I have got more than an album's worth of stuff to record. Let's get at it." But it took, altogether, before release, about 5 years. Mainly because of him, because I'd arranged to go around and do something, and he didn't ring me up in the last minute and say, "Oh, I've got something on." It just took forever. So I was really glad when it did get finished and released. But it is, along with you, it's my personal favourite, and a lot of me in it.
Oh my God! Well, that was Craig's interview with Paul Gaskin. Very cool interview. Go check out the whole thing because you really enjoy it. Very cool guy. Next interview, another really cool one that we did. Nate, you really wanted to do this one. David White from Heathen.
Mm-hmm. That was a cool one.
That was a very cool
really
one.
cool interview.
It was a very nice guy. I never talked to him ever in my life, and we had a little bit of miscommunication the first time because this is the second time we tried to interview him. So,
Right.
Yeah, so I'm glad we got that all straightened out. Very cool guy.
He had some of the coolest stories we've heard yet from really anybody.
Yeah, definitely. So I just picked the first clip. What were you saying?
I also got a kick out of him mentioning how a lot of people think because of the different last name
everyone thinks David White and David Godfrey are two different people.
Oh, yeah. It is a bit
About him
confusing.
getting the messages that said it's a shame the first guy died.
I should have picked that clip too, but I didn't. Damn it.
Well,
Oh, well.
one of my favorite ones in there was because he started off in Blind Illusion, and we were talking about that. And oh yeah, I love that track on. Yeah, thanks. I wasn't on that, you dick.
Well, see, that gives people a reason to go check out that episode because there was a lot of really cool things in there. So I just picked the first little thing that we were talking about with the little hiatus that they had since the last album before the new album that they released. So go check that out, and definitely go check out the rest of that episode because it was a lot of fun. So we'll be right back.
Yeah, it's a very good story. But back to Heathen.
Okay.
Because that's what we're here for. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
The Evolution of Chaos came out in 2009, right? I believe.
2010 in the States.
2010. Okay. What was the long wait between the albums?
What was the long wait?
Yeah. I mean, obviously that's like a common thing with you guys.
Well, really, we were actually on top of it. We when we finally got the record, Evolution done, that took a little while to just, sort of pan everything out. I think Exodus has everything to do with the recent delays for Heathen because Heathen put the band back together. We did Thrash the Titans, or was that this? Yeah, Thrash the Titans for Chuck Billy in 2001, I believe, and then we did Vakken the following year, and that's when we decided to put the band back together. So we started writing, and we recorded a demo, like 3 songs. In 2005, we had also finished the recovered CD that covers that we had recorded back in '93, I believe, but never finished. And Lee had left to join Die Krupps, so he was gone for about 6 years. He was like touring like mad with Die Krupps for 6 years, and I was playing with the guys from Defiance. Everybody's doing different things. Life just kind of, you know what I mean? You're just kind of moving however it goes. You got to roll with it. And, but when we were recording the demo, we had different people play solos on it. And at that point, Gary Holt had asked Lee if he'd play a solo on the new Exodus record. And so he did, and then they asked him to join the band. So he was touring a little bit after 2005. Yeah. And he'd be home here and there, and we were trying to finish writing. And I had to basically finish the record with the music. We already had the music, but usually Lee and I work together, a little closer as far as working out the vocals and, the melodies for the vocals and where they're going to go, arranging the songs. But I had to do it pretty much on my own and get it pretty much down. And then Craig joined the band, and he had a few songs, and we worked together on that. So, and then John wrote a song for the record, and we pushed Lee into the studio. Like somewhere in the beginning of 2000 or the end of 2008, 2009 or something like that. It's like, we got to get in. And he was like, we're not ready. And we're like, we're as ready as we're fucking ever going to be. We're going to make it happen. And Juan actually, he gave us the time to do it. Like he spent the time, Darren came in to play the drum tracks. I think he did all his tracks in 4 days, but it was 4 solid days, and he just crushed it. And then we went to work, and then Lee was back. He went out on tour. So, he had finished part of his rhythms. It was like that kind of process. And then once we got the music, I did the vocals while Lee was on tour. And then finally it was done. We had it mixed. Lee went to Denmark and mixed it with his name escapes me right now because I'm high.
Far out, man.
His name's on the record, the producer, but Lee went to Denmark to mix it, and that got out, and then we toured a bunch for about 3.5 years, and during that time, we signed with Nuclear Blast.
Okay. For
the new record, and then Lee got busy. Exodus was busy too, and then Gary joined Slayer. Actually was filling in for Jeff in the beginning.
Right.
And so they asked Cragen to fill in for Gary.
Oh wow!
So now I got a band with no guitar players, and actually Darren had quit the band. He left the band. We had a disagreement, and he left, and so I couldn't do much. I was writing a little bit, but we were in disarray while Cragen and Lee were gone. But Cragen was writing like mad the whole time, and he wrote this entire record.
Oh wow!
And said, "Here you go, guys. Let's get this done." So once it was finished and we had the time to do it, the stars aligned, and we got Zeus to produce it, and we had to squeeze it in. So it's just like I said. I know that was a long-winded fucking answer.
That's all right. A lot of stuff I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm still fairly new to your band. I mean, I've known you guys for a long time, but it took me a long time to buy an album. For what reason, I don't know.
You didn't really dig us before, that's all.
I did, but I just, just slipped through the cracks. I mean, you guys have always put out those first two albums, and you kind of like went on hiatus, and you disappeared, and you came back, and then you kind of disappeared again. Now you're back again. So
yeah. Well, I can tell you that most people, if you don't already know, the record business, music business, is can be a motherfucker.
Yeah, I could imagine.
And like I had a son. Like he was born 2 weeks after we finished recording the first record.
Wow.
So my life changed in two huge ways. I wasn't thinking straight. I fell in love and fucking made a baby.
Yeah.
Right when my band was taken off, and really at that time in '87, Breaking the Silence, we were on MTV. We sold a shitload of records.
Right.
Love that.
We sold like close to 100,000 records.
Wow.
We don't know the exact total because Combat's, they're not going to tell us everything, so they want the money. But that's when people were still buying records. And had we got Victims out when we wanted to, I think that one would have did well as well. But it was 3.5 years before Victims came out, and metal was kind of in a weird place at that time. So.
All right, that was our interview with David White. Please go check out the rest of the interview. Like I said, a lot of really cool stuff in there. And finally, one of my last interviews I did fairly recently with Pete Silk from the band Iron Savior. We talk about the album artwork for the new album. It was only been a year since the last album he had out. He was on the show. Actually, you were supposed to join me for that interview too, Greg, last year, and you were busy then again. You're always so busy.
Well, I did do one with you, though, because I remember talking to him.
No, we didn't talk to him. We actually reviewed the album, but we didn't talk. You didn't talk to him with me.
I could swear I talked to him at one point.
No, we did the interview with the review with Troy. Troy was still on the show when we interviewed. Did the album, but yeah. So I did this interview with Pete Silk. Very cool, talking about the new album, and actually there's a box set that comes with this new album. For some reason, they do box sets now for albums, which is kind of weird to me. But they couldn't think of like what to put in the box. And one weird thing that he put in the box was a toothbrush. What other band has a toothbrush? I don't know any.
One of the weirdest ones I've ever gotten that just reminded me of. I mean, the toothbrush is for sure the oddest, but there was this Japanese CD box set that came out with all the Megadeth's 12-inch singles from Peace Cells up to, I believe it went through Countdown to Extinction. But the bonus items that came with it were a ruler, a protractor, and a mechanical pencil that said Megadeth on them. It was like, what the fuck is this?
This is so random.
Yeah. I mean,
Dave,
I know they're good at math, but really?
Dave was cleaning out the drunk drawer in the kitchen,
Yeah. Or your fucking Frank book or like fucking bullshit. Just, like all that fucking 90s ass. Like,
oh, yeah.
Like, you my fucking pencil case and my fucking Trapper Keeper.
Yeah,
and my fucking Megadeth protractor and mechanical pencil.
It's on my ruler, buddy. I'm hardcore.
All right. Well, I'll go check out the Pete Silk interview.
Megadeth show with a fucking protractor.
All right. Here's the Pete Silk interview. We're right back. I'm trying to finish this.
Can you sign my protractor? Can you sign my pencil?
I was
fucking right on that.
I was going to add more clips on the show, like why it takes so long to get the show started.
Yeah, I'll go for it. That's
I'm not doing that because then I have to really go back. But here's the Pete Silk interview. Check it out. We'll be right back.
What do you think is better, the new AC/DC or the new Iron Savior?
Of course, the new Iron Savior, dude. How can you ask?
I know that was a stupid question. Come on, even I know that one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have to say, if you ask me what is the best band in the world, I always say Iron Savior. Because no, and I say no, it's for a very simple reason. I mean, Iron Savior is my personal definition of heavy metal. This is how I hear this music. You know, if I would hear it differently, I would do it differently with my band. You know, but this for me is 100% the kind of metal I love. So naturally, Iron Savior is the best band in the world for me. You know? It would be sad if it would be different.
Right. Yes. Exactly. So like I said, the new album is really great, and I can't wait to get an actual copy of it. Who's doing the artwork? The same guy that always does all the artwork, or?
Yeah, actually, it's the same guy, even though the artwork looks completely different this time, which I think is a good thing because, I really like all those, all the cover and all the artworks we had with intergalactical incidences, let's put it like this, but I think this one is actually a journalist yesterday said, and there is some truth in that he's reminded of the very early days of Iron Savior. And if you look at the debut album, the Iron Savior, of course, there's only this logo on it, and in a way, it's true. If you also look at the interlude album, but of course, that wasn't on my mind when I created this artwork. Actually, the story to the artwork is kind of funny because at the beginning, the artwork was based on the song Hellbreaker. So it was supposed to be a soldier, martial gunfighting, with space guns, whatever, and quite drastic stuff, I had in mind. But in the end, it got too complicated. If you look at the lyrics later on, you know what I mean. But that was just too complicated to achieve what I had on mind. So and realizing that, and on the other hand, finishing up the song Skycrest and finding out, wow, it's a really cool song. I changed my mind 5 minutes to midnight and renamed the album from Hellbreaker, which that was the original title I had planned out, to Skycrest, and also changed the artwork approach totally. And so within a week or so, we realized this new artwork, and I think it's a killer. I love it. It looks just awesome on T-shirts and stuff like this. And I don't know. I think it looks really heavy and solid, or I don't know how to describe it. But I'm in love with this artwork. I think it's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. You don't have no like weird creatures or anything in front. Just that big. What is that? Like a crest or something, or like a metal medallion type thing?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, metal crest, shield, whatever.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. It's awesome. And you got the logo on there. It's awesome. And like that, like you said, the other guy said, I mean, the first album was like a plain album cover, and it's kind of just like brings it full circle in a way almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool shit. Cool shit. Who did it? Did you say that?
Yeah, it's the same guy who did all the other artworks. Felipe Machado Franco, our friend from Colombia.
Yeah, he's been on the show.
Yeah.
It looks like a Felipe artwork. Yes, it does. I should have known that.
There's blue. There's red and blue in it. Yeah. he just loves red and blue.
Yes, he does. Actually, I have another friend from another band called Timeless Haunt, and they just used Felipe for their album cover, and he actually used green in their album.
He did. Wow.
Yes, a different color.
Hell.
It came out really cool.
Unbelievable. I have to talk to him. He never used green with us.
And it's funny too. He did make two versions. One was red and one was green.
Yeah. Okay.
But both are cool. So he's a cool guy. I gotta get him back on the show.
Yeah. He's a really super nice guy, and it's well, I mean, he's really so much into this Iron Savior stuff, and we're all always on, like we're always connected, you know. And so if I have an idea, he usually can visualize what I'm saying pretty nice, you know. Also, the Hellbreaker, if we would have had more time and would have dig more into it, he probably would have come up with a cool artwork as well. But anyway, I'm happy that I made this change on the last minute, because I think it was really worth it, and the new artwork is definitely it's a killer. I love it.
Yeah. You think maybe use the other artwork at another later time?
Actually, it is used in the album within the booklet. So if you once have the booklet, you will find out what the original artwork was supposed to look like a little bit.
All right, that was Pete Silk. Very cool guy. Really great new album too. Please go check it out. And I believe I'm going to be doing a cover song with him sometime soon. So that'll be cool. One last thing that I'd like to do is, and actually mentioned them in the Pete Silk interview, the band Timeless Haunt. Yes. The whole band has basically been on the show, probably the most out of any guest that we've had on the show. We've had the vocalist on the show, I think, a few times. The bassist, really cool
George
guy. He's been on the show
a few times, and
actually, those are the two main guys that have been on the show. The other three, I really got to get on the ball and start getting them on the show. But very cool band. Please go check them out. TimelessHaunt.com. They have a new album come out in January, and I'm also doing a bunch of cover songs with them as well. And so here's a couple of clips from each of the times that they've been on the show. And I just like to support these guys. They're very good friends of ours. So please go check out their stuff. And here's some clips of the shows that they've been on.
You know, and if you can connect to 25 people who regularly come out, that makes you bigger than 95% of local bands.
Right.
You know, and if you can be like that band who bring 25 people, then guess what? You're going to get, opening slots on those tours in 200-person rooms. And that's all most bands want, is to just be that's a very acceptable level to be at. It's like we bring 30 people and we get to open for our favorite bands in our sub niche. Done.
Right.
Yeah. That's a perfect
I've been there.
Yeah.
That's
a great first step.
For us, I know that and let me add to this too, that when back in 2011, I believe it was, my band at the time down in Baltimore, local and whatnot, but we got to open up for Stryper and we got to open up for UFO. And they were a couple thousand seat, whatever, shows. And it was great. And I noticed afterwards, first off at the show, it was all original, so we got to play all our original stuff. And all our CDs sold, all our merch. We were out. We had nothing left when we got done. And then we noticed an uptick in the metrics on the internet, Facebook, whatever. More people were going to see us. So that the buzz that was generated from that was very beneficial. It was just really nice. All of a sudden, we went from here to here. It was like, oh, this is cool. So, and then the other thing is memories. Right. I've played a zillion shows in my life, but those two I will remember because I got to play with these, long-term national acts. I got to meet them, hang with them, and whatnot. And a lot of bands that's not going to make it. That's still a nice thing to have.
Yeah. There's some good ballads on there.
Wrong album.
Which one do you want? That's visual.
The other one.
Oh shit.
We went backwards. I said let's start with Visual Lies.
Oh shit! Sorry, I thought you said Master of Disguise.
It doesn't matter at this point. We're all just kind of went all over the place.
Already went on falling down the steps already, so we're good.
Never Too Young to Die. That's a ballad song. That's one of my favorite songs.
I hated that song.
That's the one I really like. Actually,
Never Too Young.
It's all chorus.
Who cares?
All fucking chorus. Oh my
best
god.
part.
Yeah, but dude, you got to understand again. That album was all right. You had the success with whatever success with Visual Lies, and back then, record companies were basically looking at you like you need to do better.
That doesn't make it good.
All right. Well, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that from a business perspective, you have expectations, and if you want to keep making music and have that record deal, you have to meet certain standards from your investors.
I know why Cherry Pie exists.
Exactly. Why do you think the Metallica Black Album?
Right.
Metallica said,
but the Black
you can't
Album
do any more
good.
speed. Yeah, I know. It was half like commercial stuff to expand the audience, and half
it would be good if it was a
fans.
Dokken album.
Yeah, but
But
that's
it's not.
the point.
It's a
you know?
Metallica record.
Back then there was no internet, no streaming, no putting your stuff out there on your own. It was, through a record label. So you were kind of beholden to what they wanted. And they expected you to improve upon what you had before. And if that meant going more commercial, I'm not saying it's okay, but if it means going more commercial to sustain, what you're doing, then that's the price you have to pay.
Yeah, I just have no clue why you guys like it.
For me, it's something I grew up with. And it's catchy
you go for it.
because from a commercial perspective, again, it is catchy. It's memorable in that regard. A lot of people like speed metal. I'm not into it. I can only take so much.
I liked
I'm
it
done.
for like 2 minutes of it, and then I'm like, okay, this needs to develop a little bit.
Sure.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
Like, it's not about choruses or anything. I always try to write choruses, and I'm in a thrash band.
Mhm.
Like, that's one thing I always saw hair metal as having over thrash bands, is having choruses and stuff like that, hooks. But
Right.
like, just repeating the chorus for 3.5 minutes drives me fucking batshit. It's my main problem with Maiden too, and I love Maiden.
Wall, but you probably can't see
You
it.
can see that. Anyway, timelessone.com. Go check his stuff out. But we had you pick 2 albums today. What 2 albums?
Yes, I did, and we decided to do Sanctuary's Refuge Denied. Came out in 1988.
That's right.
Same year. Right before that whole grunge thing hit.
Yep.
Forbidden Evil came out.
Forbidden Evil.
Same year. I believe that came out in September of 1988. I'm not sure what month Refuge Denied came out, but it did come out in September.
Well, look at this guy with all the information.
I've got a plethora of it. Did you know that Dave Mustaine
That's
actually...
like,
Go ahead.
yeah,
You know what I'm going to say.
I did know that. I did know that Dave Mustaine actually got Sanctuary signed.
He actually played on that album. He actually played the
really?
lead in White Rabbit and also did the backing vocals on that track.
That's why it sounds so much like a Dave Mustaine solo. Okay, I didn't know that. I'm like, wow,
Yes,
that
yes, he
sounds
did.
like
And
Dave
he also
Mustaine influenced him a
he
lot.
also produced the album. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. Yep. I forgot about
Yeah.
that. Produced by Paul, Lonnie, and Dave Mustaine. Now I can hear it now because I haven't listened to this album in years.
God,
The,
how does
Sanctuary.
he fuck up the Megadeth remasters so bad? This is pretty good production.
I have no idea. What in the hell is that?
That's my dog talking to me.
I hope.
Be gone, beast.
Yeah, that was one of the demons you summoned before we
That
came on the
was
show.
the demon.
It's like,
And,
what the hell's
Speaking
wrong with
to
him?
you from the fiery depths of hell. It's not so bad down here.
Oh, you got a bar and everything there.
I've got leather. I've got a bar.
Cigars.
Cigars, premium.
Or Saddam Hussein.
From Saddam.
So you have a new album coming out very shortly.
Very shortly. Let's just put it this way. We had planned for an October 31st release. It doesn't look like that's going to happen, although I'm holding hope that it might. We're having a little bit of an issue with mixing and mastering because we ran out of time at the studio. You know, everybody wants to perfect their parts. So, you know, there was some re-records and some things we wanted to finish up on our 4th day, which was just this past Wednesday. 12 hours in the studio. We got all our parts recorded and re-recorded to the way we wanted them to sound. And now it was just off to mixing and mastering. It's going to be an 8-song full-length album.
Very cool.
Our sophomore.
How long is it going
Killer.
to be? Like, how long is the actual album?
I don't fucking know. I have no idea. I have no idea. I would say each track is roughly somewhere around 5 minutes, and you know, there you go, about 45 minutes or so.
All right, cool.
There's nothing too long on there. I think it's just the perfect length for a full length in
Yeah.
this day and age with people's ADD and lack of ability to concentrate.
Yeah.
I love the album. It's we're definitely coming into our own. It's going to sound a little bit different than the first album. There's more element of classic metal in it. I think you're going to hear, even though we were trying to do our own thing, what we're hearing comparisons of are Sabotage, Merciful Fate. You're definitely going to hear my vocals more up in the Sean Peck stratosphere, and I have been taking lessons again. As you know, I stopped singing for about 8 years after my last project from way back, which I'm not going to mention because then you'll know who I am. And we don't want anybody to know who I am. Ooh, spooky. So I am taking lessons from Ken Tamplin, who is like the premier rock metal vocal coach guy. It's helped a lot. It's brought me back to where I was at and even better, in my opinion. So I think you'll dig it. There's a lot of highs, a lot of lows, and a lot of mids, and I'm kind of all over the place, and that's just how I like it.
Awesome. Very cool.
I look forward to it.
Thank you.
All right. That was the guys from Timeless Haunt. It's been a fun year, guys.
Yes, it has. Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's been times when I've said, do I really want to keep doing the show? I don't know. You know, it's just one of those extra things I have to do, but I have fun doing it with you guys. So I'd hate to not do it anymore. So.
Right. I like doing it. It's fun. It's usually the highlight of my week, depending on what record I got in the mail.
That's right. Yeah. And depending on what Nate picks us to listen to, you know, then it may or may not be fun. Sometimes you can. Yeah, you are. I actually, most of the stuff that you have picked, I ended up liking. So
Right.
you haven't been too bad. I just busted your balls.
Like I got you into Enforcer. There we go.
You did. I do have the albums now. So, yeah. So that's pretty cool. And, yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of cool guests, and I hopefully can get some new guests for next year that are going to be even better. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I tried to get Rob Halford recently, and that didn't happen. Who?
Brett. James Murphy.
Get us to 100,000 subscribers. We'll get Lars Ulrich.
Yeah, he ain't coming on the show. That'd be cool, though. Maybe one day.
Awesome.
It would be awesome.
Well, you know, him and Pat Scott are still friends. I still talk to Pat, so
Bro, if I got anyone from Metallica, I'd shit myself, dude. That'd be amazing.
I really just want to talk to Lars because I want to talk to him about classic heavy metal and stuff too, and not just Metallica.
Yeah, he would be a really cool guy to.
Well, I want to talk to Lars. I love him. Lars is by far the most talkative out of anybody in Metallica.
Yeah, he is. I hate to have people give him shit too. I mean, you know, I know his drumming is, you know, not what everybody wants it to be, but he's himself.
Kirk and
So
Rob are all pretty quiet people. Like Lars is the one who doesn't shut up.
yeah, but I would love to have him on the show. But I thank you guys for continuing to do the show with me. We have a lot of laughs and a lot of fun together, and I'm glad that we're all doing this together. And I'm glad for everybody watching the show that you actually watch it and you're subscribing to our YouTube and the podcast version that we also have.
T-shirts and whatnot.
Yeah, buy the T-shirts.
Yeah,
Come
buy
on,
our
guys.
shit.
Please help out the show. Please, I need to pay for these things. You know.
Yeah.
So
and my royalties.
yeah, soon, one day. But I make the T-shirts as
subscribers. I'll make Rat Salad Review protractors.
You promise?
Oh, I promise.
All right.
Dude,
As long as you
those
promise.
ankles are going to be rat and saladed so fucking quick.
You know, I never said what quality it would be either. I just
That's all right.
from work and Sharpie Rat Salad Review across the back in Voivod font.
That's fine. Whatever we can get. But yeah, I try to keep those shirts as cheap as possible so everybody can afford them. So please buy a T-shirt. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. So I hope that helps us out, and please help us out a little bit. And also our Rat Sound Review Network, the podcast, we have so many shows on there. Lou Mav's Music is Life. We have Suck My Balls, a South Park show. Old Man, what?
Infinite Fringe.
I haven't done the Infinite Fringe in quite a while. Old Man Metal's Musings, he's still on there, but he doesn't do every month, but or every week, so he's kind of sporadic. What else do we have? Oh, the Right Opinion. He's another one that's not always on, but he does shows every once in a while.
Oops.
And
Shouldn't have said his name.
I think it cut out.
Harrison.
So you're okay. Am I missing any shows? Oh, Beyond Bushido. How can I miss Beyond Bushido? Which I'm going to be on their episode too. I believe next week. Yep, Ralph Vieira's Vault, and I believe that's it.
Yes.
We've had some shows come and go recently, so I can't remember everything. But
yeah,
that's how we
forgot they were gone, actually.
Yeah. No specific reason. I'm not mad at anybody for anything. It's just, there's too many shows. I can't keep up with everything, so it is what it is. But you'll find everything at ratsaladreview.com, and you can find all of our shows, all our in-between shit and everything. And Nate, what's going on with the music?
I mean, my guitar player's headphones broke, so mastering is going to be on hold until he gets a new pair of good studio headphones. But
I just realized what you just did. But so it's still in the works, though, right?
yeah, it's definitely still in the works.
So you can
Right.
donate to the headphone fund at PayPal.
That's right.
Yeah, we can start a Patreon for a headphone fund.
Sad, very sad. But all right, so hopefully the album gets finished at some point. Hopefully my thing gets finished at some point too, and the cover songs that we're doing, hope those get done at some point too. There's going to be a lot of Rat Salad related things coming in 2021.
And I'm gonna try my ass off to get Tom Gabriel Fisher on here somehow.
I hope so. That'll be another great thing to have on. Awesome. Well,
He did accept my friend request, so I'm hoping that happens.
all right, let's hope you're not getting catfished.
Tom Ogafisher.
No, it's definitely him, and
I know.
it's funny too because I was talking to Paul Gaskin about it, and he said, "Yeah, you know what's funny is he's a Gaskin fan, and he added me on Facebook, but I had never really heard Celtic Frost, and we didn't record this. It was, maybe part of it is in there, but I don't think the whole thing is. But he was like, yeah, I listened to a couple songs, but it's not really for me. But I told him I liked it."
Oh God. Well, either way, that'd be awesome if we get him on the show. That would be a great show. But
amazing.
But like I said,
Fucking cool.
yep, I appreciate everybody, all the people that worked with us. Lisa Mann, she's been awesome, and I can't wait to get her back on the show again. Ralph Vieira, he's been awesome too, and everybody else. I appreciate everybody, and I appreciate you guys the most for watching the show. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't even bother doing the show. But as far as that goes, we will see you guys in 2021. And until then,
Keep it breezy so it goes down easy. Stay classy. Here we go.
bye.